In 1962, the departing manager of Benfica cursed the club that they will never win a European trophy again for 100 years. Today, we're going to try and break that curse. Right, Dad, Benfica. I mean, we're at this fantastic stadium, obviously built 2003 for the Euros, I believe it was, with Benfica. Now, I know I'm going to piss off quite a lot of people in my fan base because I have a lot of Sporting and Porto fans, which I know because as soon as I wore my Sporting shirt, I had loads of comments from both. But we're doing Benfica for a very specific reason, which we're going to talk about at some point. So, first season, we're going to look at the transfers. What I did realise in this rebuild from the off is there is no money, like zero. I actually
We've been there before, mate.
Yeah, I actually think as well they have a huge debt of £482 million, which nobody told me beforehand when they were suggesting to do Benfica. So yeah, we're gonna have to be very shrewd in the transfer window.
One of the problems as well we've got to watch out for here is Benfica's never finished lower than 6.
Really?
Really.
Ooh, I mean, yeah, never relegated. That's
no.
Okay. I don't think I'd get relegated, but still, I think we can live off just the youth team alone, really. But okay, let's take a look at the transfers then. This season, who did I bring in? Well, I didn't have a lot of options, to be honest. So we start off, to be honest, with one of my favourite wonder kids on the game, Uriel Celli. Now, as soon as I realised I don't have a lot of money, I thought, I know a guy who I can rely on who doesn't cost me a lot of money, who I think will be progressively decent and I can use for his set-piece prowess throughout this whole rebuild.
Right.
We can see already 16 for corners, 15 for free kick taking. He's very decent at passing, good penalty taking. He doesn't look that good, but what I must do a video on it, to be honest, because he is one of these guys who just overperforms. I've got him in my Twitch save, twitch.tv/MegaLukeGaming with PSV, and he just overperforms every single time. So I brought him in. From the Peruvian team of Cantalao, 725k at the start.
I'll take that then. Yeah.
In the 3 games that we've played before the transfer deadline day,
already.
1 goal, 2 assists, and a player of the match. He started off with a bang. Yeah.
Good start.
We've also spent money on a centre midfielder, and this guy I think is a bit of an underrated player as well. Jaime Sion? I'm sorry. He's Spanish anyway, from Huesca, I believe it was, and I think he looks fantastic in that centre midfield role. The trouble is with Benfica, they've got a couple of players who, in centre midfield, who are out on loan.
Yeah.
Whether they stay at their clubs, the likes of Florentine Luis, who's really good like CDM, he's just very good at tackling, to be honest, breaking play up. Very similar to like a Kante type of player. He's not at the club at the minute. He's out on loan. So I've brought this guy in who's a bit of a ball player. We're going to see how we do with that. On the outs, I don't think there was any, to be honest, that I actually did myself. We had a couple of players. Farrell left there for £1.7 million, but he's a bit slow now compared to what I would like in a centre-back, and I don't think mentally he's all that good anyway. So what I thought, tactically, stick to something that I know. I've gone for this type of formation. It's very similar to my PSV one, just some slight changes, to be honest, mainly in how we're playing. We're playing vertical tiki-taka because a lot of these players don't have the best natural fitness and stamina, so tiki-taka is probably better to go than gegenpress. Celli playing in that Mazzala on attack. This is where I've been using him for PSV. Means he drifts out wide. He's got a wand of a left foot to cross in. And we got Yaremchuk up top, who I didn't realise Benfica had, but he's not that bad in the air, to be honest.
No.
6'3", 15 jump and reach, 14 heading. So if a whipping crosses in, he's the guy to be in there.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So I'm happy to have him in the team. 25-year-old Ukrainian. We got Lazaro, who's only on loan at right back. I think he's definitely the best right back that we have at the club. Morato is a youngster that I think we need to give game time to, 20 years of age. I think he could be someone for the future. We need to invest time into him now. I think that's the way to go. And then the goalkeeper, really there's like 2 or 3 half-decent goalkeepers. This is just the best out of the bunch, to be honest.
Right, okay, yeah.
So far, the start of the season, we've had a very busy start of the season. We went through the Champions League group stage, first round there, and then we were knocked out by Spartak Moscow. Yeah.
Already.
A 1-0 loss in the away leg and a 2-2 draw at home. Not great.
No.
Coupled that with a 3-0 win in the league to begin with, then a 3-1 loss to Boavista. 2-0 to Tondela and 3-1 to Santa Clara, which sees us currently sat in 5th place right now. We're already with a loss, already chasing current champions Sporting, although they also have a loss. They they lost to Porto. So these are going to be the two rivals that we have to face.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Every single season, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, one fact that I do know of the Liga NOS is that there's only ever been 5 winners. Boa Vista and Belenenses, who have been the other two, and then the main ones, yeah. They've only won it once each.
Yeah.
So Belenenses, I think, is down in the 3rd division right now, and they've got a new team there, which was only built in 2018, or established 2018. So, first season's first. Let's see how we do. And to start off with, we take a title immediately.
Get in. How did we pull that through?
Not bad start. I mean, obviously,
quite easily as well.
Yeah, it's been a few years since Benfica actually won the league. I think it's about 3 or 4 years. Porto and Sporting have won it since.
Yeah.
So I thought we need to get one in the bag early.
Oh, definitely.
And we have definitely done that.
At least that puts us back into Europe as well.
100%. And if we look at player statistics and what we have here, it's fantastic, really, when you look into it. 37 goals from Yaremchuk, exactly what we needed.
Yeah.
But Uriel Celli, with a 7.51, has the highest average rating and 27 assists. It's a very high tally for a 19-year-old guy who doesn't look amazing.
Between them two, that's why we won the league, isn't it, really?
Again, just plays very well. So let's take a look more into this league table, because we kind of left the foot off the glass, to be honest.
Yeah.
We took our foot off the gas.
We still won the league quite easily as well.
Very easy. I mean, especially with Porto winning all 5 games, all 5 of their last games. We drew a couple. It's probably because we've already won the league, like, really easily. So if we take a look at past positions then, between the 3 teams that we're looking at here, at some point, every single team has been top. Porto hasn't been top the most. They were 3rd for the majority of the season. We look like we took over around about Christmas period there. It does say 17th for the 12th. That's when we've been dominant ever since then. So ever since we got like European group stages out the way, we've been fine. But of course, we were only entered in the Europa League, which I think, to be honest, gives us more of a chance in the early stages to get rid of this curse. And of course, Portugal have 2 cups and a Super Cup. There's a lot of trophies that we've got here to win.
Yeah.
It's very much like the English Premier League. There's 2 trophies, there's 2 cups, there's a league title, and then of course, whatever you're in Europe. So, how do we do? Well, unfortunately, although we won the Taça de Portugal placard, which I think is like the FA Cup. Yeah, we've done the double.
That's good.
We didn't get any further. We only reached the group stage of Europa League and knocked out the semi-final, in the Europa League by Monaco. So, of course, we were knocked out the first round by Spartak Moscow. Semi-final by Monaco in Europa League. And that's not bad, to be honest. They got absolutely slapped by Leipzig.
We were destined. We were never going to win the final anyway.
No. We were absolutely slapped. They were slapped by Leipzig, which I'm not a big fan of because they sacked me, of course, very early on in FM. I will never like them now. I bought their shirt and I was sacked in 1 season. Don't tell me about that. But anyway, other than that, the curse.
What, the Bela Guttmann curse?
Let's talk about it, because this is the main reason why I wanted to do Benfica.
Yeah, and I looked into this. It's hell of an interesting year.
This
Hungarian
really interesting.
manager came along. He went to Porto for 1 season.
Yeah.
Benfica won the league, and he came in to Porto, took over, and won the league with Porto. He leaves Porto at the end of that season and joins Benfica.
Yeah, controversial straight away. He don't care.
And do you know what he goes and does?
Wins the league again.
No, before that.
Oh.
He only sacked 20 of their first team players.
Really?
And just sacked it. No good. Oh, and I'm bringing all the youth team players. Right?
Yeah.
And he only goes and wins the league.
Yeah.
That first season, which put him back into Europe.
Yeah.
So the following season,
because back then, obviously,
you had to be the champions.
You had to win the league. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So the following season, he's in Europe. Then.
Yeah.
He only goes and wins the European Cup.
Yeah.
In his first,
second season in charge of Benfica.
Yeah. And then the second season, he wins it again.
Yeah.
Which is very rarely it's done that both teams, the same team.
And the 2 teams he defeated.
Barcelona the first season, 3-1.
Yeah.
Real Madrid the second season, 5-3.
And at the time as well, because this is early 60s, Real Madrid had been dominant.
Yeah, I think
they won the first 5.
That's right, yeah.
They've been absolutely dominant. It's gone past like the Stefano era.
As it was then the Champions Cup. The first 5 seasons, it was Real Madrid. And it was Benfica the next 2.
Yeah.
So they've beat Real Madrid. So he's won the European Cup 2 seasons in a row. He decides to go in and see the president for a pay rise.
Yeah.
So he goes in and sees him, and the president looks at his contract. He says, "There's nothing in your contract that says that you can get a pay rise just because you're successful." So he just went, "I'm leaving you," and he went, "As from this day, Benfica will never win the European champions again for the next 100 years. I'm cursing you."
Yeah.
And walked out.
And they haven't.
Well,
and they haven't won a European trophy.
That was in 1962.
Yeah.
They've been in 8 European finals since then.
Yeah.
And lost them all. Right? No, they didn't finish there. They've also been in 2 youth European finals as well and lost them as well.
Yeah.
So they've lost really 10
Yeah.
European finals that they've been in since he's put that curse on them, and they still haven't won any of them.
It's mental, really, how that's
And
played out.
It's going. I think it's 1962. So it's wasn't no 60 odd years
Yeah.
now. Right? When it first happened and it was going on, some of the players that was around at the time, they said it's not 100 years. It wasn't 100 years, he said. It was 30 years. Well, we're 60
yeah,
odd
we've
years
gone
now.
past that.
We're in 60 odd years now. They played going back, 7 years ago they were in the last one?
Yeah,
8 years
Europa
ago?
League one.
Yeah, so the curse is still going, I think.
Yeah.
But one of the funny things I've read about it as well, one of the finals that they played in was played in Austria.
Yeah.
They played against AC Milan in Austria. And one of the former players decided to go to Guttmann's grave,
Yeah.
because he's buried in Austria, and prayed over him and asked him to take away the curse before they played this game. And they still lost 1-0. So this curse, I think, is a big thing with
Yeah.
Benfica.
So that's our main task today.
But you got to
win a European trophy. I mean, I don't even care if we get the conference one.
No.
It's a third tier
we've got-
one.
we've
I
got to win.
don't even care.
We've got to win.
Yeah, but
That's our challenge.
The
Can we
problem-
break the curse?
the problem is with winning the Portuguese league is we go straight into the Champions League.
Yeah.
So the only way to get into an easier European competition is to finish third, but you can never guarantee that, obviously. And of course, we want to really win the Champions League. That's the major one.
Oh, definitely,
We'll take a Europa League. We'll take a Conference League to break the curse.
When he put the curse on there wasn't all this Europa League.
there
things
wasn't
like
a Cup Winners' Cup back
that.
then.
No,
I
it
don't
was
think.
it was straight Champions League.
Yeah.
Or the European Cup. That was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I think the Fairs Cup came a little bit later on, which
Yeah.
is the Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the curse. That's what our main task is today. We've already won the league. We can win cups easy, but it's the Europe. In Europe, that's what we need to be
honest,
successful in.
we're sorry for the Porto fans and the sporting fans. This is the reason why we've took this team to
Yeah,
try this.
absolutely. And let's not forget as well, they had players like Eusebio back then.
Oh,
Unbelievable
there you go.
talent,
Well
which
played.
obviously, one of the best in the world at the time.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But let's take a look at our current team, at the statistics for this season. 37 goals were scored in 56 games with 6 assists. Very good for Yaremchuk, I'm happy with that. But Uriel Celli, I mean, not only did he get 27 assists, but he got 17 goals. He's an incredible player.
What a player.
Yeah, I mean, still, when you look at him, it's like, oh, he's okay. Like it's Celli is like that.
He looks like a vicar there, doesn't
Yeah, he does, to be fair. Yeah, he doesn't look very special, does he? But he's like Peruvian Messi to me. I think he's a god. I'd pray at his feet, to be fair. Seferovic, which is basically a substitute striker, has got 15 goals off the bench. Pizzi and Otamendi has both got 15 goals as well. Otamendi, I think, has been playing right centre back, and we've been using the new corner tactic that I highlighted in the video recently.
I've heard a lot about this.
It's so good.
Is it?
It's unbelievably good. And
Well,
maybe
there we
I'll
go
chuck
then.
in a video. I'll
Yeah.
chuck in a clip to show you. Virgil van Dijk got 210 from centre back. Yes. And 99 of those 210 were on target as well. So he actually has a really high conversion rate of getting the shots on target. You're going to see how many goals he scored. 27 in 38 league games. 27 for Virgil van Dijk. And just to prove to you that this wasn't playing him as a target forward or something, ball playing defender every single game. You can see it going all the way back. But that's the reason why I went for Uriel Celli.
Yeah.
His set pieces, he's just a wonderful left foot. The technique, the corner, everything like that. If you've got somebody who can attack the ball, the opposition are in trouble. Anyway, let's move on to the second season. So on the outs, £50 million in total. Lucas Verissimo, which is quite a recent signing actually. It's a Brazilian striker that Benfica picked up from Santos. Went for £42 million. It was a starting centre back last season, but I think we've replaced really well. And considering we don't have any money, I mean the £50 million, I didn't see any of it.
No.
I'll be honest, I didn't see any of it, viewers. We'll take a look at who I've brought in though. So from Slavia Prague, 29 years of age, Lucas Mazopus. Now this guy is naturally a right-sided midfielder. However, what I did notice when I went to sign him, 13 for tackling, which I think that's quite good for a winger. So I've decided to bring him back. Maybe he doesn't have the best heading or marking, but I think I can retrain this guy to be a very good right back. Because right backs are hard to come by on this unless you've got a lot of money. We've lost Lazaro, so I think we needed this guy, and this was definitely the best option. We picked him up from Sparta Sparta Prague for 75k, mainly because he was about to go out of contract, and I could just offer a little bit of money just to get him straight away and guarantee that he would come to us instead of when he went out of contract, get pinched by somebody else. So I think that's a good start. 2 assists as well in the first 6 games, very high average rating. So far, so good. Now, the only player that we did actually spend a little bit of money on is Mohamed Diamonde. Now, this guy is definitely one for the future. He's only 20 years of age, and we've loaned him back to Nordsjælland, where we've got him from. He can play centre midfield, he can play centre attacking midfield, and he already looks quite decent, to be fair. £4.4 million is what we spent on him. He didn't play a lot last season. He's already played more than what he did the season before. Actually, probably because he was. I see what's happened here. We've loaned him. We signed him after he's played 1 game. Then we've loaned him back, so they counted it as 2 different times there. So really, he's played 3 times. He's got 2 assists, 1 goal. Not bad at all. A big signing though, Andrea Belotti.
Oh,
very good.
Very good.
Now, people who have been playing FM already and have got to the end of the first season will know Belotti goes out of contract every single time.
Yeah.
I was the club who managed to snap him up because I think he's fantastic and definitely what we would like to use because his mental attributes are phenomenal. His physical attributes are good enough. Very good technically as well. 28 years of age, so he's still he's got a few years left him in. From Torino, he scored 13 goals last season.
It's not bad in Italy though. I mean,
look what he's done for us already.
8 goals in 7 games.
Exactly. 7.37 average rating. He has hit the ground running here in Portugal. And he's not the only one
Nothing
either.
against the Portuguese league, but the Italian league is very hard to score against. It's a defending league, isn't it? So 13, 14, 16 goals in that league is still good.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at that year when he got 26. It must have been one of the highest in Europe. And he did that in the Serie A. Now, we also signed Dan Axel Zagadou. Now, he is a guy who we lost in the Dortmund rebuild.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever, like, never mind. But we got him here at Benfica because we had no money. And he is a free transfer at the end of the first season along with Belotti. So even though we sold somebody for nearly 50 or 45 million pound, whatever it was, we could only spend 4.5 million pound and we had nothing left after wages.
Really.
After wages and after the 4.5 million pound we spent, that was it. So I think we've done quite well in the January transfer in the transfer window so far. How we've done in the league so far though is definitely a lot better because we have played so many games.
I like this.
And we've only conceded 2 goals and they were both in the same game. So 1-0, 1-0, 5-0, which Belotti got a hat-trick in.
Here we go.
2-0 against Braga, which is a very decent team. Belotti's there again. This is the game we won 4-2 in. They got a late one as well, so it didn't really matter too much. 2-0 win and a 4-0 win against Santa Clara, which 4 different scorers as well, which I love seeing as well.
Definitely,
so that's great. Obviously, we don't have to worry about qualification of the Champions League, but we do have to worry about who's in it.
Ooh.
Barcelona, one of the teams we have already beaten in the European Cup final.
Yeah.
Rangers and Rosenborg, 2 teams who have reached a cup final before in the past European Cup final. So very experienced group. Maybe not the most difficult group, so I think we can qualify from that.
I'd be disappointed if we didn't go through in 2nd place, definitely.
Absolutely. So, it's all about then how we tactically set ourselves up. We're sticking with the same tactic. We have moved Chelly out onto the right-hand side because Chiquinho is one of the midfielders who's come back from being on loan. I think he looks quite decent. I'm going to give him a game. He was out on loan at Braga for some reason. I don't know why they're loaning out one of the best players. But 7 goals, 6 assists he got last season in the Liga NOS, or whatever it's called now. The B-Win, Liga Portugal. So I think we need to start using him now. And I think it's about time. Mazepus on the right, which is the reason why we signed him for. We're keeping Morato in there. Leaving that one free for Zagadou, of course. Chelly on the right, Belotti up top. So Yaremchuk, even though he scored all those goals, I still think Belotti is a better option.
Yeah, definitely,
Okay, let's see how we do in the 2nd season. And in the 2nd season, we retained. It was a lot closer this time, though.
Yeah, it was,
Only 5 points.
Same 3 teams again, look.
Absolutely.
Same ordering as well, isn't it?
Player statistics. They don't let us down.
Nope.
Belotti, the most goals, 43. Uriel Chelly, a 7.78 and 29 assists.
He's Mr. Consistent, isn't he?
He is Mr. Consistent.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at him. He doesn't look like he's getting that much better. His composure's gone up to 11, which is great. But he doesn't look too special. It's just... These technicals are just incredible, to be honest. In the league alone, this season's mental. 17 goals, 23 assists, 13 player of the matches, and 8 average rating.
That's really good, isn't it?
It's insane, to be honest.
Really good.
So, I mean, let's take a look at the league first before we have a look at how we did in other competitions. We dominated. We only lost 2 games against Porto and Boa Vista. We only drew 4 games, and that was pretty much the games that we couldn't score in.
Yeah.
We only conceded 27 goals, but we managed to score 104. So we're very deadly going forward. So I think we've had a very successful season in the domestic league. What about other competitions, though? We had a very good year.
We won the treble at home.
Yeah, we won the treble, which is obviously fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
We had a bad run in the Champions League. I mean, you get knocked against Liverpool. That's just annoying, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just know how good they are on this game.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. Belotti got 32 league goals in total. So out of interest, 43 and 53. It's a very good goals tally.
Yeah.
Uriel Celli got 26 goals and 29 assists. It's just mental, really, how good he actually does. Troquinho, who played that Mazzala role, 17 goals, 9 assists. It's a very good role in this tactic, don't get me wrong, but I mean, you still have to do the business there. But second to Celli in assists is Mazepus, 22. Now, considering he doesn't take any set pieces, on that right-hand side, I think that's a very good first season for him. 22 assists and 49 appearances. So really good. Are they going to give us any money, though? That's the question, because financially, we still have £4 million, I think, which was left from the transfer window beforehand. And we take a look at finances. £21 million the overall balance, and in the debts and loans, it isn't even going down. Ooh. It's exactly the same. I know people was asking about the Barcelona debt. I'll try and remember so much to show how we keep going in this, because it doesn't look great.
The difference is we don't get the shirt sponsors that they get and things like that.
No, I don't think there's much money in the league, and like if you're not getting to the latter stage of the Champions League, you're not really getting that much money. And we've only got to the first round.
But the Portuguese league is not televised all over the world now, is it?
Yeah, so that's where they're going to miss out on a lot of things. And the trouble is as well, wages just seem to keep going up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
So, and we're trying to attract better players. They cost more in wages.
Yeah.
Okay, third season. Right, so on the outs, Julian Weigl. I've managed to keep hold of him as long as I possibly can. Usually I see him leave in the first season, so the fact we've managed to keep him to the third season, I'm happy with, but then it was a case of a bid and war, really. And he was in his last year of his contract, didn't want to sign anymore. I tried so hard to keep hold of him because he is a fantastic player, but it was time for him to leave. Luckily,
the board's not going to turn that sort of money down, are they?
No. Luckily, we do have Florentino Luis come back, so he is a good option in that position. Rafa, £25 million for a 30-year-old who also wanted to leave in the last year of his contract. I will take.
Yeah, definitely.
I will absolutely take. Carlos Vinicius, he's been out on loan to PSV for the last 2 seasons. We've sold him to PSG now, £14 million. The goalkeeper left for £15 million in total, and a few others really just getting them off the loan, getting them off the wage budget, so we can free up some more stuff. So £89 million in, £59 million we have on the outs. First off, Altay Bayindir, a very good Turkish goalkeeper. He's much better than the goalkeeper we've just sold, and we pretty much brought him in for the same. We brought him in on free transfer. I thought we actually paid money. We didn't.
Better than it.
Yeah, even better. So he's last year of his contract.
And if you're improving,
exactly, 14 clean sheets last year in the Turkish league. We'll take that. Very good start as well. 7.25 average rating. Now we're going to look at this guy first, Manor Solomon. He is an Israeli left-sided player. He's very talented indeed. Now he was transfer listed because he wanted to move to a bigger club from Shakhtar Donetsk, and we had a bit of a battle with some big European giants, AC Milan being one of them, and I think it was Arsenal, it might have been Arsenal, who was the other team. He was trying to also match our bid. It's weird, like you see that players wanted, he's on the transfer list, nobody's made a bid. You make a bid, everybody makes a bid as well. Like, oh, he's made the first move. So Manor Solomon, he decided to come to us on 100k a week, which is easily the most expensive player that we're paying for right now.
You've got to perform, hasn't he?
Exactly, but he's 24 years of age. I think he's very talented. He can play on that left-hand side, where Rafa, I think, was playing last season. I think he's better than Rafa.
Passing's really good, look.
Yeah, really good at picking the ball up.
You need that, don't you?
So Belotti's like, oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You've got dribbling 17 and passing 17. What more can you want from
exactly,
a winger?
Yeah. Cut inside, slip a ball through, please, Manor. We have, though, Belotti's got a new friend because Benjamin Sesko is the wonder kid this year that everybody's talking about. Like Haaland a couple of years ago. He's Slovenian. Nobody's ever heard of him before. He's from Salzburg, just like Haaland was. Ooh. He is incredible. Now, he doesn't look amazing at the start here. We have a lot of 14s in dribbling, finishing, and first touch. But he's 6'5", with 16 jump and reach, and and 15 heading. I like the look of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's also really pacey, to be honest. So, yeah, really good. Talented young man, 20 years of age. How has he done so far? Well, in the season where we bought him, 13 goals in 17 games is not bad at all, with 4 assists as well. So, a goal contribution every game. And we've started him, and he's been scoring 3 goals and got 3 assists in 4 games. With a very high average rating.
Right, good. That's a good start, isn't it?
Very good indeed. So, schedule-wise, we're looking very confident. We've had a 3-0 win, a 5-0 win, 3-2, and a 1-0 against Sporting to start off this season.
That's the Lisbon derby.
Exactly.
You've got to win in it.
In the 5-0 victory...
You know what the other derby's called? Well, I say the other derby. The other top game, which is Porto
Would
versus...
be Porto, yeah.
Yeah, Porto versus Benfica. The classic.
The classic, right,
Yes.
okay. Any reason why, or is it just
No,
because they've won the 2 of the famous clubs,
Probably,
I guess?
Yeah, the top. I mean, you got the top 3 teams, so they call one the Lisbon derby.
Yeah.
And then you got the other one was called the
classic.
The classic, yeah.
Right, fair enough. In this 5-0 win, Uriel Celli got himself a hat-trick and Andrea Bellotti got himself 2 goals as well. Very good start. We have changed things around tactically as well because we've got 2 really good strikers now.
Go 4-4-2.
4-2-2. Very similar. The only thing is now we're giving Manuel Solomon a bit of a license, to be honest, to go forward. We've got Alex Grimaldo, who's a very good wing-back, who can play there. Now, I mentioned Florentino Luis. We lost, of course, Julian Weigl, who was playing more of a DM role. We've got Florentino Luis, who's been out on loan at Monaco and Getafe. I think it's been, yeah. So we've brought him back. Last season he did actually play a few games, but he is now going to be starting every single game for us, I think, in that centre midfield role. Work rate positioning, defensively positioning, he's really solid, and that 17 tackling.
That's what you need in the middle, isn't it? That's solid player there.
Breaking up play. He is basically going to be our N'Golo Kante, because he's a box-to-box midfielder, and we're pairing him alongside a deep line playmaker, which we're leaving free. We've got a few players who can play that role now. Mazepus, of course, who had a fantastic first season. He's guaranteed a spot in there because he was just way too good, running on the outside of Celli. And then we've got Altai, Binder in goal, Sesko in that advanced forward role, and pressing forward for Bellotti, who he's just really good at pressing forward, very high aggression.
Yes.
So he's going to cause a lot of trouble for Benjamin Sesko to sit on that last defender. Right, let's see how we do in the end of this 3rd season. So, the end of the 3rd season sees us win the league by 7 points there over Porto. Sporting dropping down into 4th place. Braga popping up into 3rd. On the goals, though, we've had the most goals this season in Benjamin Sesko.
Yeah.
New signing, even with a strike partner, gets that amount. And he takes the highest average rating spot from Uriel Celli, but Uriel Celli still put in 33 assists in the season. So that is absolutely mental, really. So let's take a look more into the league before we go into the competitions, because towards the end of the season, we were absolutely fine. We lost 1 game, which probably we were flying ahead by then. Pass position wise, let's take a look at the 3. We didn't do this last year, but we'll take a look this time. We've been dominant really and since the start. Don't know why it drops off down here for that bit, but still, never mind. Yeah, so dominant all the way through really, and it does look like Sporting there. I mean, they had a very bad start.
Oh, yeah.
Very bad start indeed. I know like their players are quite young, so maybe a lot of them's been picked up by other clubs.
Yeah.
That might be their problem there. Other competitions, Dad. We're still looking to break the curse in the 3rd season.
We done the treble last season, so
yeah.
I would expect to win another cup, but it's that big one we want, isn't it? We want the big one.
Exactly. I think now if we don't get a double, it's almost like it's a bit bad, really.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely is.
So luckily we managed to get the double. We almost got the treble. In the Allianz Cup we were runners-up. So let's take a look at who defeated us. It was a 3-1 loss in the Classic.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's not great.
No.
So, unfortunately, did we get our own back in this competition, though? Well, we didn't. An extra time we beat Sporting in the Lisbon derby. So that
lost against one against the other one.
Yeah, so that's not bad. But quarter-final against Bayern Munich.
Another big side, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're just getting done by these big giants, aren't we, really?
So, I mean, let's take a look at our schedule and look more into the Champions League games, because I want to see like who we come up against, because we've managed to get through the first round knockout. I mean, we only played young boys in the first. How they got to that is pretty special, really.
Yeah, it is, really.
We beat Leipzig, thankfully. 2-1 win against them, so screw you, Leipzig. 6-2 loss to Celtic. That's big. Sparta Prague, and then, of course, we only just lost, really, to Bayern Munich by 2 goals. We lost 2-0 in the away leg. Arsene Zakarian, one of my favourite players, one of my favourite wonder kids, scored against us there. Thomas Muller, one of my favourite real players that I've loved for years and years.
Yeah, he's so good.
Absolutely adore
I'm
Thomas
surprised
Muller.
he's still going. I mean, what year is that?
I mean, he started playing from when he was like 17.
He still looks the same, doesn't he?
He does, doesn't he? Yeah. Good morning. You ever seen that video? It's brilliant. Anyway, let's take a look more at player statistics then of this season. So, we know Benjamin Sesko scored 62 goals. It was in 56 games. 13 assists, 29 goals for Belotti. So he's still doing a good job as well as that pressing forward. 14 assists for him. But I mean, I've got to highlight it again. Yuri Uccelli, 27 goals, 33 assists. It's every year. It's so
He's becoming
consistent.
a legend there, isn't he?
Oh, easily.
He'd have to be,
I mean,
be a fan favourite, isn't he?
18 and 18. 18 goals, 18 assists in the league in just 31 appearances. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal statistics, really. I know some of them even had a good season, really. Does that matter? Chiquinho got 17 assists. Yeah, not bad at all. Right, so on the outs, £25.5 million. Yaremchuk leaves us, 8.25 million. Gets some Fernandes, the same amount of money. Darwin Núñez, 7.5 million. People will be like, why aren't you playing Darwin Núñez? He's a good player. I think we've got better strikers, and I think it'll be justified. However, massive signing on the ins this year because we've brought a hometown boy home, Renato Sanchez. Now, if you remember rightly, when Portugal won the Euros, Renato Sanchez was at Benfica as maybe like an 18-year-old, maybe.
Yeah.
And every club wanted him. Man United were massive favourites. I was like, yes, please bring him in because he was phenomenal. And he went to Bayern Munich. And his career took a bit of a downward spiral from there. He's brought himself back up recently. He won the league at Lille. He then finally made his move to Manchester United in this game. And we signed him for £35 million. So he signed him for more than what Bayern Munich got him for after those Euros. If you remember rightly, you might have seen him at the Swansea game.
Yeah.
He's been around the block a bit, to be honest. He's played in a number of different countries. We've brought him back. He is a favourite at Benfica. I've checked beforehand. He was a favourite at Benfica, so it's fantastic to bring Renato Sanchez back. What he brings to us, though, he's a phenomenal player. A lot of greens there as a box-to-box midfielder. Deep line playmaker, maybe. Yeah, I think he's great. I'm really happy with that signing. Somebody will actually spend money on. We've also brought back Valentino Lazaro, so bringing back a right back just to give us another option there, to be honest, because we've lost a couple.
They want to come back and play for us, don't they?
That's the thing, then we've got a loan deal for this man, Fausto Gigliotti. Looks quite a good player, to be honest. Young, 19, Argentinian, from Liverpool. We'll see how he does. But yeah, that's our signings in. Now, I'm going to show the tactics first, before I show you this unbelievable statistic that has happened so far. Okay, so tactically, we're setting up exactly how he was before. Luiz is playing the deep line playmaker. Renato Sanchez, that box-to-box midfielder. We've got Chelsea, of course, on the right-hand side. Now that we've got that man from Liverpool in, we haven't selected Solomon, just give him a bit of a break if he needs it. But Sesko and Belotti up top. Eagle-eye viewers will already have seen how many goals one of these have got in the season.
Right.
It's immense. Benjamin Sesko has scored 18 goals in 5 games.
Whoa. That is some going, isn't it?
I know.
He must have won every game on his own.
Well, let's take a look. I mean, he's got a 9.2 average rating before we've even started this season.
One of our rebuilds, isn't it?
So, the first game was a 6-0 win, and he scored all 6.
He won that game,
He basically scored all 6. 8-1, he scored 6. So he scored 12 goals in 2 games. What are they feeding this man? I mean, he's even dropped down in finishing. Yeah, he was 14 last season. That? He's gone down to 13. He's got worse.
He must have missed so many chances. It's unbelievable.
Incredible.
Drop him for that.
I mean, I know we're playing the corner tactic and we are aiming for him. I've changed that in the corner tactic, but still, I mean, ridiculous. Then somehow he drew a game. He still scored 2. So he's got 14 in 3 at this point. We play this team. He scores a hat-trick.
Look at this next game.
I know. 6-1 against Porto. 6 different scorers as well.
Oh, that's great though, isn't it? That's brilliant.
So, I mean, Benjamin Sesko is breaking records here. More goals than he's played games.
Do you think he'll beat the all-time goal scorer?
Who's that? Eusebio? It's got to be Eusebio, sure.
Eusebio, yeah. He scored 470 goals in 435 games.
It's not bad at all, really, is it? I mean, more goals per game. Benjamin Sesko is well on his way from getting 18 in 5. I mean,
he's got to be there for some time to score that, being that many games.
Yeah. I mean, he was only 20 when we signed him. If we did continue this on.
If you go goals per ratio game, he's already beaten him, though, I would say.
Absolutely. He's even doing it, really. Like, if you look in the friendlies, he got a couple there. He got a hat-trick there. 2 against Atalanta. He's just destroying teams. How we didn't win that game there against a team I've never even heard of. Ridiculous. Anyway, let's see how we do this season. We'll take a look at, actually, our Champions League group's quite difficult this year. Lyon, Inter, Dynamo Zagreb. There's no easy game there, I don't think.
Yeah, but we're a good team.
We are a great team, but there is no
I'd
easy
still be
game in there.
disappointed if we will go through to the next round.
Yeah, I would too, to be honest.
Yeah.
But 13 points at the top. Maritimo is second somehow because we've obviously beaten Porto. They're down there in 5th place. They got a game in hand, and Sporting's down in 3rd. Right, let's simulate this 4th season. Benjamin Sesko, unbelievable. So the 4th season sees us retain yet again by 10 points.
10 points. I like
So
it.
that's not bad. I'm actually disappointed because he's only got 59 goals. He got more last season. He generally he's after we left
Get injured
him.
or something?
Well, he might have done, to be fair. We'll take a quick look, really. Injuries, he had a couple, but nothing too serious, just like he missed a few days. So his finishing's gone back up to 14, if that helps. So maybe it's better when it's 13.
Yeah.
In the league, though, alone, he did break his record because he got 46. That's got to be like a league record. And 15 assists. Really high average rating. Only 8 player of the matches. That's a bit weird, isn't it? But then he's got Yuri Ocelli, who's obviously scoring quite a lot of goals as well and getting assists because he is back on the highest average rating with 36 assists this time. So that keeps getting higher.
Because every season he's done that, hasn't he?
Yeah, every season he's got more and more. So the league campaign, obviously we've dominated again. We won our last 5. We only lost 1 game. Now, you were telling me how many unbeaten runs that Benfica's had.
I think they went 29 consistent wins.
That's
the biggest they've done in their league.
Yeah.
And I think it was 48
Games unbeaten.
games unbeaten over all competitions.
Yeah.
So that's they are the record team in their league for doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, the other fact that was what was crazy as well was they only conceded 15 goals in one season.
That's
And that
ridiculous.
was over 38 games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was. I don't know how close we were to that, but that was a hell of a fact as well.
Yeah. I mean, we're nowhere near that.
No.
We almost conceded double
I've been
the
looking for
amount.
that to see if we come anywhere close to it. We
Yeah,
didn't. So,
yeah.
But
I mean, we conceded 6 against Braga alone, and one of them was a 3-0 loss. I would be surprised. I mean, we beat them. We must have beat them 6-3. We beat them, Braga. So we had 2 very exciting games against Braga.
Yeah.
The past positions then for Benfica, we completely dominated. Porto wasn't in the league, so Braga was top for a long time. To be honest, that's quite unusual. Sporting down in sort of like 5th and 6th there, so they're really struggling there. Other competitions though, we've got 2 years left to break this curse, Dad. Do you think we've done it? I think we've got a good enough team. I don't think we've got a good enough squad-wise, but we've got good enough individuals.
Going forward, we've got it.
Yeah.
I think we've got it. We've got the person with the assists and all that, and the goal scorers. We've got it. It's that defending whether we're just good enough at the the back, because these big teams that have beaten us, they're not big giants for no reason, are they?
Oh, absolutely
They've
not,
got
yeah.
a squad of players. They've
Yeah.
just got the individuals. They've got squads.
Yeah.
And we've only got individuals, and that's the difference. But I'd like to think we could do it.
Well, unfortunately, we come up against PSG.
There you go.
So
There's a squad, isn't it, then?
Exactly.
The
Did they go
squad
on
with
and win it?
individuals, they are, aren't they?
Yeah, Man United beat Liverpool on penalties, so I was buzzing with that.
Yeah.
That's happened. But yeah, we were knocked out by PSG in the final of that. We were knocked out in the 6th round by Porto, and we were the runner-up in that cup, so we did not even get a double this year. So although we did well in the league, we did not get the double. That's a bad season, really. 59 goals in 51 appearances for Benjamin Sesko, 34 for Belotti with 15 assists, and 32 goals and 36 assists. That's mental. 68 goal contributions in total. That's absolutely
I'm surprised
crazy.
we haven't lost him,
Well, he is wanted by
Yeah,
PSG.
he's gotta be, isn't he?
So is Benjamin
Same-
Sesko by Liverpool, Man City, Atletico Madrid, and Barcelona.
Can you keep players away from those, going to teams like that, innit?
Exactly, so it's going to be very hard. Luckily, we've got him for another 3 years, so if we just refuse to sign him, if the board never do anything, we still got him for this final year.
Yeah, that's what we needed.
That's what we need to hope for, just please. But because the finances, we'll look at it again, the finances, we got a lot in the bank, but it's not coming down that much. Not coming down that much at all.
Benfica have got the biggest crowd base in Portugal, and probably close to one of the biggest ones over the world as well.
Yeah.
They are followed by a big fan base. They class themselves as the working class team
Right.
in Portugal. That's why they're the biggest fan base. In
Oh, okay.
Portugal.
It's like Porto, then the middle class?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the same sort of area, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
But that's why Benfica are the biggest in Portugal. They're the working man's team.
Right, okay. Well, we need him to work now because we've got 1 season left to break this curse. Right, money-wise coming in, we only actually brought in 650k, so not a lot, but we did have a little bit of transfer
one
budget.
thing, we didn't sell one of our big players then.
Exactly. On the ins, we managed to sign a right back, Yukinari Sugawara. Does look like a really good right back, to be honest, as well. Who can also play right midfield. I think the Mazepus, the Czech Republic guy that we had at right back, he was good. Lazaro, he was good. I think this guy's just slightly better.
Yeah.
And of all the positions on the pitch, I think right back was our weakest point. So that's the reason why I went for this guy. We managed to pick him up from AZ Alkmaar. He looks like he's been having some good seasons as well. I think he'll be better for us because of the way we play, and he's got 15 crossing. With someone like Benjamin Sesko, who can get his head onto anything, I think this guy's going to be a good pickup, to be honest. So, tactically, this is how we're looking right in the last season. We haven't selected him because, of course, we've got a few options there. Benjamin Sesko goes up front because the other two signings that we actually made, one of them's actually really good. We seen him last season. It looks like he's got even better this season, Gigliotti. So, of course, we had him last year. He played 16 games. 15 of them were from the bench. Only scored 2 goals, 1 assist. I thought we'd bring him back because we don't have any other options. He does look like he's progressed quite well. Maybe he's just got really good professionalism. And I realised he's 6'5". Like, he is exactly like that's the same as Benjamin Sesko. So if we are missing Benjamin Sesko, he's a really good backup option, but he can also play alongside him as well. The other man I brought in was Filip Stevanovic, a really good Serbian wonder kid, plays on both wings. That's the reason why I brought him in.
He's not 22 though, is he?
No, I mean, this obviously we're in 5 years' time. He's on loan from Manchester City. Hasn't really played a lot. He was on loan a couple of times in the Dutch league. Did all right there. Now, schedule-wise, at the start of the season, we lost our first game in the Classic. Renato Sanchez got himself sent off, which probably cost us because Fabio
beat him the week before though in the cup. Like.
Yeah, and we beat him in the Super Cup.
3-0, then lose them 2-0.
Yeah, luckily from that though, we've been all right. Benjamin Sesko, first game he got himself a hat trick. Then got a 5-0 win. He got another one. Uricelli picks up a couple there as well, and then a 3-0 win against Gruamares. So we start off the season trailing Porto, who are top, and they've won all 5 games so far.
Ooh.
Yes. In the Champions League, we do look like we have a better group to go through.
Yeah,
Olympiacos,
Chelsea, really?
Yeah, and Dynamo Kiev. So we're always going to be second to that Chelsea because, of course, they've got a fantastic team and a lot of money.
Yeah.
Final year. Let's see how we do.
Come on, the Eagles.
So in the 5th season, we win the league again, but it's definitely the closest.
Yeah.
The one thing that does worry me, though, if we look at player statistics, is that goals tally is going down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Uricelli, 7.92 average rating, 33 assists as well.
Again,
he's still in there. We've won the league again. We don't really need to worry about it too much. We've won it all 5 years now. But at the start of the season, we were chasing.
We had a bad start,
chasing Porto.
Yeah.
As soon as we overtook them, though, that was it. We stayed ahead of them. So that's fantastic. I'm happy with that.
Top 3 normal teams again, look.
Yeah, it's this competition, though.
There's one good thing. We didn't lose that record then, did we? We didn't finish below the 6th. So
no, we didn't do that.
We've achieved one thing.
I think I would have been sacked if I finished below 6th. But anyway, the Champions League. That's the big one. Or any European trophy. We'll take anything. How have we done? We were the runners-up in the Champions League final. We lost.
That curse.
In a final.
What year is it? 2026?
2026. I know.
It's still going, isn't it?
It's still going. The curse is still going.
We didn't just lose, neither did we?
5-1. We got absolutely obliterated. Lorenzo Luca, of course, he was a wonder kid that I've mentioned. We've actually used him in the very first rebuild. A very good, talented youngster got himself a hat trick.
You know, just now I should have come on the Eagles.
Yeah.
Benfica's got two like nicknames really, and it's the Eagles, obviously because the eagle in their badge, and it's also the Reds.
The Reds. Look who beat us.
Yeah.
Look who beat us. Yeah, I mean, I was absolutely gutted.
Sorry, fans.
Yeah, I was annoyed that I didn't see it before to stop it so that we could play it like we did the Dortmund one.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just so unfortunate. Such a shame.
But the problem is, you wouldn't want to see me cry, would you?
Oh, no, exactly, yeah. I get Liverpool as well.
Oh, no.
Can't stand them. We won the Allianz Cup. We were knocked down the 6th round by Sporting of the other cup competition. So we got the domestic double, but my word, that hurts. That hurts.
Guttmann carries on.
Yeah, the Guttmann curse carries on. One last thing to check. Is this debts and loans? It's gone up. I'm sorry, Benfica. We've made your club worse.
Yeah, but we've got really good players there. They're going to sell the players now.
Yeah, they probably are. I mean, we've managed to keep up. I mean, nobody wants Benjamin Sesko. Oh, actually, a fact about Benjamin Sesko that I didn't say before the start of the season. He signed a new deal.
Oh, well.
So, a lovely guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic player. And he signed a new deal. Only wanted 92k a week. Wasn't really taking the mick out of us too much.
No, that's good,
despite having so many offers. Uricelli is still wanted by everybody. And his contract still has another 2 years on it. I'd like to think he'd stay. I mean, Shall we see? He wants to go. He's keeping his options open until after the World Cup. He's actually qualified for the World Cup. But viewers, the Guttmann curse continues.
Hey, we've done as much as we possibly could. We won the league. what, 4 seasons out of the 5?
5 seasons out of 5.
Yeah, it was all
5
5
seasons.
So we've done well.
Yeah.
We just can't beat that curse.
No,
I
you
mean,
can't beat the curse.
What can you say? We've been beaten by that curse.
Well, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you drop a like on the video. We'd really appreciate it. Let's smash the like button. Let's try and get 1,000 likes
Keep
if
the
we
comments
can.
coming in as well. We love the comments.
Absolutely. And page.com/MegaLootGaming. There will be a poll up there soon for a future rebuild. In about 2 or 3 weeks' time, that will be voted for by you, the Patreon members. Page.com/MegaLootGaming. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Now, seeing as we didn't do a Patreon poll, mainly because I forgot, we decided to do one of the most requested teams that we have had recently, which we just haven't won in a poll, Sporting.
Yes.
I'm wearing the shirt because it's absolutely sexy. We can see it down there. It's their third kit. I think they should make it their first kit.
It's a good kit. I like it.
It is a really nice kit.
Yeah.
It goes but very nicely with that stadium. Absolutely superb.
Yeah.
So a club with a lot of history. I think to English eyes, they are the third most successful team in Portugal. I don't know what it is by numbers, but we can see that they have won 19 different league titles, including the one that has just gone previously in 2021. Now, this still gets requested as a rebuild, I think, because they have a young team coming through and they are still in the midst of a rebuild.
Yeah.
So this is why we're going to do this team today. Quite exciting. So let's take a look then at some of the transfers that we have brought in this first season. We didn't get given a lot of money because they have mainly spent quite a lot of money as already, with Marcus Edwards and Manuel Ugarte coming in fairly recently. So all I really did was just focus in on the staff again, which is something that I like to do in that first season. They have a very decent side, and I didn't even let any players go. I thought first season, let's see how we do with this team. Yeah. So tactically then, that's where the most important thing is happening. And I'm going for this very sporting asymmetric side. Now, people who have been watching the Colo Colo series have noticed that this is very similar to this. I've just started randomly putting in positions where I was like, just to see, right, our best player in centre mid plays there. Our best player here plays there. And I thought, this is very similar to the Colo Colo one. So it is similar, but it is different. There are a few roles that I have changed going through this lineup. There's only one man that I want playing every single game, and that is Sebastian Coates. He's the most experienced player in that defence, 30 years of age, and he's fantastic on the game. He might not be as quick as what he once was, but mentally, he's fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. 6'5", 16 jump reach, 19 bravery and 17 heading, and 18 for positioning, 19 for leadership.
18 for marking as well, so...
Yeah, we want him to be there.
He's your main defender, isn't he?
Exactly. And next to him, he has quite a lot of youngsters around him, so I think that's quite important. If we do take a look at squad depth, there's a few players that can play here. That he's mainly a left back, this guy here, but the one that everybody has been mentioning recently is Gonzalo Inacio, who's broke into the first team in real life. Fantastic young player, and yeah, I'm quite excited to see what we can do with him. This is what we are looking at for squad depth, but if we look at what the assistant would suggest is our best team going forward, Fidal next to Coates, we've got Pedro Porro, who's on loan from Manchester City, Bruno Tabata on the left, Nunes in that midfield role. They got Nuno Santos on the right. Sarabia is on loan right now from PSG. We don't have an option to buy, unfortunately. I think the main weakness, the main weakness is the striker. We've got Slimani right now, used to play for Leicester, if you remember rightly, for a few years. Didn't do that well. And they've got a couple of players coming through.
As well, and he's a bit old as well, isn't he? Really?
Yeah, they've got the likes of Thiago Tomas coming through, but he's on loan for 2 years at Sporting, and they have an optional future fee. So that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Maybe they won't actually go for it. Hopefully not, because he's a fantastic player on the game. But we do have a great youth system here at Sporting, as do the other two clubs in Portugal. I think the main country in FM for young wonder kids on this game is Portugal.
Yeah.
Those three clubs just have so many players. And the club culture, play attacking football, use the club's youth development and sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. That's what they want us to do. So we started off the season, let's take a look, quite well. We won the Super Cup. Obviously, we played Braga. We won the league. We beat them 2-0, nice and comfortable. Let's move this to my favourite fixture view. There we go, so we can see a little bit more now.
I've just seen the Champions League draw.
Champions League draw is quite interesting, yes. A 3-1 victory there. 4-1 against Famalicão. A decent victory there. They are quite a young, upcoming team. 2-0 against Vitória. 2-1 against Vizela. And an Estoril draw. Bad result they scored in the 87th minute.
Yeah.
Quite annoying. You mentioned the Champions League draw. We have Manchester United. Bit of a weird link with Sporting Lisbon, don't we?
Yeah.
3 players there that have signed from Sporting
The only other,
United.
I was going to say, the other league, we've won the Cup Winners' Cup
Yeah.
in 1963-64 season. And in the quarter-final,
Yeah.
we lost to Man United 4-1
And how do they...
at Old Trafford.
Why did they qualify then?
Because in the second leg, they won 5-0 at home.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
So
Would that have been after the
obviously-
Busby Babes?
I'm
Yeah,
not
it
sure,
would, because that was like 57. So that was
I mean,
when
that
United
put them
would
through
back.
into the semis, and they beat Lyon in the semi-finals, and then they got into the final and beat Budapest 1-0.
Bloody hell, a Hungarian team getting to the final.
Yeah. And I think, if I remember rightly reading it as well, the goal was direct from a corner.
Really?
Yeah.
Scored a few of them in my time, let me tell you that.
Oh, actually, you have. Actually, I've seen you do it, yeah.
Yeah, twice
So,
I have.
yeah.
One in men's football, one in youth football.
Yeah.
So yeah, Manchester United in the group. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes, Cristiano Ronaldo, Nani, all coming through Sporting's youth academy, all playing for Manchester United.
Did you know why Bruno Fernandes left?
Because Manchester United are a far superior team.
No. A season before he left, something happened with the team, and 50 members of the crowd, or fans,
Yeah.
attacked some players and some members of the staff.
Bloody hell.
And the following season, they had an exorcism of players leaving them.
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes was one of them.
Cool. I think I've made a mistake there, because I don't think Bruno come through their youth academy. He went there after going to
Yeah.
Sampdoria. But yeah,
But while he was there,
obviously
the
is
fans
Portuguese, yeah.
attacked. I think it was like 9 or 10 members of the. It was 50 fans and 9 or 10 members of the playing staff.
I think I remember that
And
happening.
players.
I mean, they've on a bit of a rebuild since, and Man United have only gone down, so
Yeah.
who was right there? Okay, let's simulate this first season then and see how we get on. So, the first season,
Get in.
champions by
By
a
a
mile
mile as well,
Yes,
yeah.
look at
I
that,
like it.
13
Look
points.
at the top 3 teams.
It always is, isn't it? It always is. A lot of people have
Get
been
in.
saying to do like Braga and something in the future, something we might do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the last 5 games as well, we dominated, only conceding 1 goal and beating Porto 5-0. That's not bad at all, is it? Also, have you seen how many games we lost?
None.
None.
Hey, that's good for a first season, isn't it?
I know, right? We drew 5, we lost 0. An unbeaten season.
Goal difference is 75 as well.
Now, I remember when we did the Benfica one, we spoke about a little record that Benfica have.
Yeah.
Unbeaten. We'll have to have a look at it. We'll have to see. I don't quite remember off the top of my head how many it was, but we'll have to find out. And you guys down in the comments should let us know. But of course, there's 2 cup competitions in Portugal as well. And we have a European competition. Was it
Have we
more
done a double?
than
Have we done a
just
treble?
a single? Bang! Winner of Ataca de Portugal and the runner-up of the Allianz Cup, which is obviously the other cup that they have. So that was a 1-0 loss to Benfica in the final there. A cup that we actually held as well.
Yeah,
so
I bet they were jumping with that.
yeah, absolutely. But the
Who
Ataca
did we
de
beat in that?
Portugal is a 5-1 victory versus Pacos de Ferreira. So a great victory that. I think that's the FA Cup version,
Yeah.
if I remember rightly, because that's the reason why we played Braga in the Super Cup.
Oh, yeah.
The other one is more like the League Cup, very much
So
like
really, with the Super Cup,
setup.
we've done the treble in the first season.
We did. Not bad at all.
Well, that's our job done, then, isn't
Exactly, yeah, let's go. Champions League, first round knockout by Liverpool.
it? Well, at least we qualified.
We did qualify. I mean, Zenit and
That's bad luck
Galatasaray
coming
was the
against
other
Liverpool,
ones.
though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's. I mean,
they're the
finish
team
it.
at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, we probably finished second in the group. We did to Manchester United. We
Yeah.
had 10 points there. Galatasaray and Zenit below us, but yeah, I mean, coming up then against Liverpool, who went on and won it. They beat PSG in the final there.
Well, at least we can say we lost against the
disappointing.
winners.
Yeah, 5-1 they beat us on aggregate. 0-0 in the first leg at Anfield too.
Done the
yeah,
hard work.
We did the hard work, took them home and couldn't beat them. Because away goals mean nothing now.
No,
So we were like, oh, lovely, we didn't even
Yeah.
concede at Anfield. Then we go and concede 5. So that's disappointing. The goals-wise then, this is where our problem will start to lie. Even though we were dominant and we didn't
were,
concede any, well, we didn't lose any games. 24 goals were scored by Sarabia, who isn't a striker, with 21 assists. 21 goals were scored by Pedro Goncalves and 21 by Samani. Paulinho with 20. Marcus Edwards with 16. Coates with 15. So everybody's chipping in,
Yeah.
but we don't have a striker who
Yeah, but
scored a lot
that's
of
the
goals.
thing, isn't it? We've got a defence that's done well. They must have done because we won the league.
Yeah, yeah.
We haven't got a striker. So we've only got to buy one player, really.
That's
You
true.
could spend a lot of money on one player there.
That's true. And there's a guy that I have my eye on that
Oh.
we could be picking up in the second season. But before we do that, let's have a word about Spitch, who's sponsoring today's video. Yes, Spitch is sponsoring today's video. It's brand new to the Market Fantasy Football app, where I'm currently beating Dad at the top of the league. He is second, though. You are second. Yeah. I'll give you that. Now, the results haven't come in for the one that is happening right now. I've
got 3 players playing tonight.
And you are currently beating me, so you might have caught me up right now. But it is only for the UK and Ireland, and you do have to be 18 or over, and you do have to take a little snapshot of your identification to join up. But once you do that, it is free to play, isn't it? And it's quite fun.
It's a bit of fun as well. Come on, enjoy it.
Yeah, you've been texting me about it and everything. We've really got into it, to be fair, on Spitch. And you can actually win money. I don't know about you, but I've won money twice so far, and I haven't put a penny into it. It's not a lot of money. It doesn't mean I'm going to be buying you a new flashy car or anything. But I have won some money because I'm that good at Spitch Fantasy Football. All the statistical analysis is on the app. You don't have to leave the app to go to a different app to find anything out. It's all there.
Anybody can do it.
If Dad can work out how to register a team, then you certainly can. And like I mentioned before, we've got a community league. There's over 30 people in there right now. So make sure you go down below. Use the link down below. It is free of charge, like I mentioned. And then there's also a link for the community league. Join the community league. You can battle it out against me and Dad and see if you can beat us. But it is a week-by-week basis. You can just total it up throughout the season as well. So you can have a look by week. If you just fancy just doing it for 1 week, you can see if you beat us 1 week. But then if you fancy it for the long haul, there is an option to see how you're doing across the season, where I'm winning right now. So if you fancy it, link down below in the description. Thank you very much for Spitch for sponsoring today's video. Now, the first signing in the door was Pedro Porro. We had him on loan from last season. We had an option to buy, and I activated it because if you look at coach summary, he's our best player.
Well,
he's phenomenal.
Say no more than that.
Yeah, and apparently he's been really impressing in real life, which is fantastic to hear. I've seen quite a lot of Man City fans going, why are we loaning this guy out when he's that good? When sometimes they're missing Kyle Walker, for instance. So he is fantastic, and we activated his release clause, well, the clause to buy him, £7.25 million. Look at the season he had last season, 7.7 average rating.
It's good, isn't it?
He's a phenomenal right back, and he's only 22 years of age, so it's great to bring him in. And I mentioned how I had my eyes on a striker. Now, Vitinha, I've done a video about him recently because he is brand new to the winter update.
Right.
He is phenomenal. I don't know whether he's like banging goals in real life, and that's why Foot Manager's given him a little bump.
Yeah.
But he is great, and I've never heard of him before I started doing this rebuild. So 17 for finishing obviously is great. We're in the second season of him being here, 22 years of age. But look at his mental attributes, all the greens there.
Yeah.
He's like a really aggressive anticipation, bravery, and off the ball with fantastic teamwork and work rate. And not bad pace. It's Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, definitely.
It's Jamie Vardy, isn't it? Like, good at finishing. Like, he's not superior. He's not amazing in the air, but he's got a good enough head on him. Not amazing dribbler, but he's good enough.
Yeah.
But he's aggressive.
Good aggression. That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, really good at pressing. That's Jamie Vardy. It's Portugal Jamie Vardy. I'm sure of it. So we've brought him in, and not for a bad price either. From Braga, £17 million. He scored 25 goals last season.
Look at the top line for us, though. Played 6.
Played 6, scored 5.
I like the start. I like the start.
So, I mean, he caught my eye because he was a top scorer of the league, one of the top scorers of the league, and I thought, whoa, who is that guy? Seen him, he is in the van straight away, bringing him in. Now, we had to secure up a little bit of defenders if we need to go forward next season, because Andy Pelward is a French 22-year-old that we have brought in from Basel. They only signed him for £1.5 million from Nice. We paid £13 million to bring him in, but he's a decent defender, young as well, with a great potential. Alberto Melero from Las Palmas. He gives us a lot of options across the midfield. Really good, again, youngster, 18 years of age, and we're playing him for the first team, so it matches the club vision that they want us to do of under 23s. Nice, fantastic player that we've brought into the club. And finally, Ruben Vinagre is a deal that was already done with Wolves. It's a loan to buy that already was secured for last season. He only played 6 games. But he's a good squad player, to say the least, with some fantastic player traits. Now, what we didn't see at the end of last season was that in January, on the very last day, Chelsea activated Inacio's release clause. So obviously we don't see that when I simulate throughout the whole season. £38.5 million, that is the reason why we brought in Andy Pelmard. And we have also sold Islam Slimani, £2.2 million. And of course Nuno Mendes, which was a deal already done deal, moves to PSG. In the outs this season at the start, only one man going out for more than £1 million, Valentin Rossier for 4.1. Obviously, there's no need to change the tactic. Our tactic was fantastic last year. We had an unbeaten season. All we're doing is making sure Vitinha plays every single game and bringing in Pelmar just to make sure that he plays as many games as possible next to Coates, who will most likely be playing whenever he is fit and available. We keep the same thing, and let's see how it starts off, because a very good start to the season.
Oh, yeah, it's a good start.
4-0 in the Super Cup, the same team that we beat in the Portuguese FA Cup.
And we beat Porto as well at home.
Yep, 3-2 against Porto is a great result. We scored a penalty at 84th and 88th minute.
They
were 2-0
down.
They were 2-0 up. Yep, and they gave it away. Another 4-0 victory against Famalicão. They don't like playing against us either. 4-1 against Vitoria. 0-0 against Maritimo, which is tough, really, isn't it? But you've got to get them every now and then.
We haven't lost.
Still haven't lost. 3-1 victory there against Pacos de Ferreira, and Real Ave 6-2. Pedro Gonçalves, the shallow striker, getting a hat-trick within 36 minutes.
Get in.
Very powerful performance.
Nice Champions League group again.
Exactly, yeah. Young boys. Manchester United yet again, and Inter Milan. That's a difficult one. That is considering we're champions, that's really hard. Inter Milan obviously finished like 3rd or 4th and qualified, which means they come in 13th.
I'm so confident of becoming second beyond Man United.
I hope so too. I'd like to think that we can do that. So, okay, let's simulate the second season. So at the end of the season, unfortunately, Porto have beaten us 2 points towards the end of the season there. We lost 3 games in total as well. One of them against Portimonense, which I'm quite surprised with. Obviously, Benfica 3-0 loss is difficult to take, and Porto 3-1 as well. We were also eliminated in the 6th round, or the quarterfinals, I guess, of the Taça de Portugal on penalties by Porto. So they've done us twice there.
Season, didn't they?
Yeah. However, we beat them in the Allianz Cup 3-1. So that's not bad at all. We've got a little bit of a revenge there, I guess.
We've got a bit of silver in a way, that's all right.
Yeah, 1 out of 3 in domestic trophies. What about in Europe?
How did we do there, eh?
Unfortunately, we were in the Europa League after finishing 3rd place in our group, which we anticipated behind Inter Milan and Man United. But we lost against Rennes 6-3 on aggregate, that's an odd one, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't think we should be losing to a team like Rennes. No. I mean, they're not bad, but we're far superior. As champions of Portugal, losing to Rennes. Not good enough.
Shouldn't have happened, no.
So with no outs for the transfer window season number 3, I brought in 2 players totaling to £16 million. We weren't given a lot of money. Mauro Katanic is a centre-back, which is going to be one for the future, but also a good squad player. There's a lot of players a lot of teams coming in for some of our players, including Sebastian Coates. Although he's a lot older, teams like Man City, PSG, all come in with offers for him. I don't know how long he might be here much longer. So I brought this guy in. He seems okay, to be fair. There's a lot of weaknesses, obviously. They're only the 12 for positioning. A lot of his technicals aren't quite there yet. But for 19, and for the money that we paid, £7.5 million, it's not a bad deal to bring him in.
Squad player, isn't he?
But I felt like we needed a new goalkeeper. So Louis Maximiano has joined us, and we have bought him from Granada, despite him only leaving the club a couple of seasons ago. £3.8 million, we paid £8.7 million to get him back. But last season, for Granada, it was in La Liga 2, he only conceded 31 and 38 and kept 14 clean sheets. 10 clean sheets when he was in La Liga, and they got relegated. So that's not bad if you ask me. He's not the best goalkeeper in the world, but definitely he will do us a job in the net for Sporting. Tactically then, there's only a few subtle changes that you can't see with the naked eye, but we're playing Royce at left back, Pelmard and Malario on that left-hand side. We haven't secured down Vitinha, but if he is available, he will be playing as many games as possible. But as you can see, there's a little wanted now. What a shock. Manchester United are in for a Sporting player. There's no surprises there, is it? If we do take a look at the Champions League group this season, we've been shafted again. Manchester City and PSG with Rangers.
Oh, we can go for that group, won't we?
No, that's going to be difficult.
Best 2 teams in the world, huh?
Yeah. And schedule-wise, if we take a look at the start of this season, we played Man United and friend. We played them so many times, and then we thought, well, let's have a friendly against them. We played Santa Clara 2-0. We lost against Nacional 4-3, which is a weird result, because then we beat Penafiel 5-0 and Vitoria 3-0, where we just don't concede a goal in the other 3 games. So it's a bit odd, to be honest. This season needs to be a good one again to kick us back into gear, I think. Maybe get a little bit further in Europa League if that is our fate, because Man City and PSG,
I think we're
going to be tricky.
Got to be looking at least semi-final, I think.
Yeah, but before we do simulate that, like target, please.
I'm going to go for just a straight 1,000.
1,000. Make sure you
Let's try and get the numbers back up again.
That like button, exactly. And also, let us know down in the comments. I asked for you to pick me a top division club last time. This time round, second division club from the top 5 leagues. And then the ones that get suggested the
That'd be
most.
interesting.
Yeah, let us know and I'll put it in the Patreon poll. So second division only in the top 5 leagues around Europe. So that's England, France, Germany, Spain and Italy. And so this third season, 2 points behind Porto.
Again?
It's a difficult take. Look at that, Vitinha, 56 goals. And yeah, 96 goal difference, and we still couldn't win the league. Almost double.
Goals better.
We scored 121 goals, but they only conceded 17, and they only lost one against us, where we annihilated them 6-1. So if you think about it, in 33 games, they conceded 11, because we scored 6 in one game against them.
Who did we lose against then, all 3 games?
So the 3 games that we lost, one was against them, Boa Vista and Nacional. Now,
So one of those games, really, if we hadn't lost, we'd have been all right.
yeah, now there's a reason why Porto has started to do really well. Because if you take a look at their team, their new manager is Erik ten Hag.
All right.
Ajax manager, hopefully next Manchester United manager. And yeah, they obviously have a great team and they've started to build on that using Ten Hag at the helm. So, I mean, it's going to be tricky beating them. Porto is the last one for us to do out of the 3 from Portugal. I'm sure we'll get around to doing it. But you've got Erik ten Hag at the minute, so I'm pretty sure you'd be quite happy with that, to be honest. And that's the reason why you're bringing in a little bit of success at the minute. Okay then, other competitions. We've qualified for the Champions League yet again. Benfica are in the Europa League. How do we do? Well, we've got to the semi-final of the Europa League and we were knocked out by Inter Milan in that semi-final, but we were the winner of the FA Cup version of Portugal, the Taça de Portugal, and we're the runner-up of the Allianz Cup, which was lost against Porto 2-1.
Who did we beat in the final?
In the final, we actually won. We beat Benfica 5-1. A very big win there.
Final, that is, isn't
That
it?
is a good final for us. Vitinha got himself a brace. Gonçalves, Cabral and Coates with one as well. Mauro Icardi's playing for them. Gets them their goal. We can see here in that Europa League, we lost 2-0 at home to Inter Milan after beating them 2-1 at the Giuseppe Meazza. And we were down to 10 men.
Done the hard
against
work.
them. Yeah.
Done the hard work.
Done the hard
to
work.
get into the final.
Timo Werner scored 2 goals for Inter Milan. So interesting that he is there.
Chelsea, does he?
No, not at all. If we do take a look at the Europa League, we first went through Galatasaray 5-0 at home, 2-0 away. Welcome to hell.
Yeah.
We beat you 2-0 anyway. Then Bayer Leverkusen, a 4-1 victory at home meant that we could slack off slightly in the second leg with just a 2-2 draw there. Then Celtic, who managed to get themselves to the quarter-final, we beat them 4-1 at home, 2-1 away. So a good run as well that we got to.
That's probably a good result because Celtic are a
Difficult
good
to beat
side at the moment, yeah.
In Europe as well. Very difficult to beat. So not a bad season. Let's take a look goals-wise because Vitinha did score 56 goals in just 50 appearances. But other goals as well. Cabral got 24 with 20 assists. Gonçalves 23 with 15 assists. Tomas with 20 and 10.
110 goals in 4 players, isn't it?
Yeah, he's back.
Brilliant.
They didn't decide to sign him. Stuttgart, despite him scoring 14 goals in 29 games. Nope, and 17 the season before. In the Bundesliga, they decided not to sign him. And then he got 14 for us in 21, which only was 12 starts. So he's come back with a bang. Very good, and it's made me question now, do I need to get him into the team?
Yeah.
So we'll go forward to the 4th season, see what happens. Now at the start of the 4th season, I thought we'd take a look at the club culture page because a lot of the club culture has changed. Where before it was obviously sign youth players and stuff like that. Now they want us to play very entertaining football, high tempo pressing and very attacking football, which I guess is kind of ingrained in their history. Playing very attacking football is very much the Portuguese way, isn't it? Where Italian is more defensive.
Yeah.
I think Portugal is a lot more of an attacking nation, and I think obviously with Sporting and their history of winning quite a lot, attacking football goes along with their club culture.
So I was reading a bit about their history as well. There's a quite a little funny little story about it as well. They were founded in 1906.
Yeah.
And they were called Campo Grande Football Club.
Yeah.
All right. And they concentrated on it was tennis, football, and fencing.
Okay.
And it was like more of a
not all at once, I hope.
No. It was like a community football team, but they done those sports, but they also done parties and picnics. So there's all family orientated as well, you know. But they wanted to concentrate on the football more than anything. So when they decided that we should just concentrate on the football, half of the community didn't like it. So they split into halves, really.
Yeah.
And they decided to take the football a bit more serious than rather than doing parties and picnics all the time. So they started a new team, and that was called Sporting Club de Portugal.
Yeah.
And that's hence where the Sporting CP comes from.
Yeah.
But it was quite funny to say that half of them wanted to stick to parties and picnics.
Yeah. I mean, because I remember when I first started doing YouTube, I accidentally called Sporting Club de Portugal Sporting Lisbon. Because in England, we've always known them as Sporting Lisbon. That's what we've always been told.
Yeah.
But now, obviously, my knowledge of what you guys have told me in the comments, that's a no-no.
No, yeah.
They don't like being called that.
No.
It's Sporting Club de Portugal.
Yeah.
Or just Sporting for short. Lisbon is like more...
Well, you talk to most English people and you say Sporting, they will say Sporting Lisbon, won't they?
Yeah. In England, definitely.
Yeah,
but I think
definitely,
it's mainly because, I mean, I guess like you're a Tottenham fan, Tottenham Hotspur, they don't call you Tottenham Hotspur London.
No.
And it's exactly the same thing. If somebody started saying Tottenham Hotspur London, you'd be like, what are you on about?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that makes a lot more sense now when it comes from the club side of it. But yeah, I've just thought the club culture's changed now, which is quite interesting. Let's take a look then. We're also favourite personnel, which is quite nice. Let's see if we can grow on that. That'd be great. And let's take a look then, the transfer wise, because we might have had a few departures. Now our best CDM, João Paulinho, Manchester United again, coming in, stealing our players. It took them 3 years to sign a decent CDM. And they signed him from us. Again, it was a release clause, so I couldn't really do anything about it. But for a 29-year-old, £51 million is not bad whatsoever.
Yeah, I'll take it.
He has been here a while though, so it's a shame to see him leave. But he was fantastic, phenomenal player. So, how have we replaced him? Well, if we take a look at the signings that we've made, I don't think we actually have replaced him, but we have players that can play in that role throughout the team anyway. So Andrei Lunin is a backup goalkeeper from Ukraine that we have just signed. He was playing at Real Madrid's youth academy. He's been there for a while, never really got a look in, so a free transfer to be as like a backup goalkeeper for us. Cade Cowell from San Jose Earthquakes. What a weird signing this is. But he's actually quite good. If you take a look at his attributes, he's a phenomenal player, and he plays up front or on the wings. 20-year-old American, £15 million, quite a lot of money, but in the MLS, he's been quite good.
Yeah.
2023 season, he was only 18, scored 10. Not bad at all, is it?
That's good.
So we brought him in, Cade Cowell. He takes a number 10 spot as well, which I didn't realise until after, but I'm happy for it. Tyrell Malacia, £22.5 million for a left back. Now we had Race there, I think is how you might say it. He's okay. He's not as good as Tyrell. So I brought Tyrell in as a replacement for him, really, to be our number one left back in the team. I think he's a lot better. So if we take a look tactically now, we've changed.
Yeah.
I'm going very attacking.
Yeah, we had to, really, I think.
When I see the club culture of play attacking, play high pressing football, and then I mentioned we've got two now world-class strikers.
That's why you're going to do it, isn't it?
But we also have Pedro Gonçalves, who's really good as a centre attacking midfielder. This is what we're looking like. So we have the two inverted wing backs, which always sit in here now, which will help the centre midfield role if we're looking like we're quite lapsed. We have two wingers on either side of the shadow striker, the Roman playmaker in the middle there. And if we take a look at the squad itself to see how the assistant would lay it out, because we're not obviously choosing any players to play there, this is what he would play. So we've got Gonçalves in behind Vitinha and Tomas, Nuno Santos on the left, Cabral on the right, Matthias Nunes in the Roman playmaker role. He would still play Rice, but I think he would still play Tyrell Malacia quite a lot this season at least. Pelmard Coates at the back with Pedro Porro, Maximiano in the net.
It's a good squad.
It is.
Good young squad, so we're building a good squad for someone.
Exactly, for the Patreon members. Remember, Patreon members, you'll get access to the save game file at the end of this rebuild. Let's take a look, because we actually had to go through qualifying paths.
No.
So, in regards to the league still finishing in second place, now we're having to qualify. We beat Copenhagen 4-0 and 2-1 across two legs, and Dynamo Kiev 2-0 and 6-3 across the two legs. Now, obviously, we've just signed a Ukrainian. We've just played against Dynamo Kiev. What's going on right now?
Yeah.
I mean, our hearts are with everybody in Ukraine. What's going on?
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting stuff. So, yeah, I thought we just mentioned that right there. Braga, a 4-2 victory in the league to kick us off after we lost the Super Cup to Porto. Porto Benet's 2-1 victory against them. Boa Vista's a 3-3 draw, which is disappointing.
Yeah.
But we bounced back with a 5-0 victory there against Rio Ave, which currently sees us sat in third place. Our Champions League group, what a difficult group that is.
Oh, it's a bit better than what. I mean, not the group of hell.
They're
is it?
always hard groups in the Champions League,
Yeah.
but PSG is
Yeah, I
going
mean,
to
I
be
would
one
take
of them.
that.
Yeah, I mean the manager is still Pochettino, but of course Erling Haaland is there.
That's where he's going to be, isn't it?
That's where he always is.
We're only fighting for one spot, really, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. If we can get to the knockout stage, I think we'll be happy.
Yeah.
So let's simulate this fourth season. And so we're back with the title, 95 points, and look at that goal difference again,
yeah.
plus 91.
We've
This
done
is what
well
we
with
like.
the goal difference.
We scored so many goals the last few years, it's ridiculous. Tomas is now our top scorer as well. He's got 55 goals throughout the whole season. We only lost one game to Benfica. A 3-1 loss there, but we scored 128. We scored 13 just to get the Gil Vicente. But one of the biggest shocks I think this season, look who got relegated. Braga.
Hey.
Yeah. Which is a bit of a shock because they're considered the fourth best.
Yeah.
So to see them go down it's almost like seeing Spurs go down.
All right.
So I know in previous times people have been saying
Sporting have never been relegated from the top league.
no, I'm not surprised by that. I'm guessing Benfica or Porto haven't either.
No, they haven't.
To be fair. Now there was a story actually. Remember I always said that there's only ever been 6 winners of the Portuguese league.
Yeah.
Now there was a story the last time when we mentioned that with the Benfica one, that somebody said that during wartime, other clubs have won it. However, it's not considered like canon. It's not considered to be counted.
This happened in one of the other leagues that we've done as well, didn't
Yeah.
it? Because it was during the war.
That's right, yeah. So during the wartime, I can't remember what teams it was, so forgive me. Please let us know down in the comments. But where we thought to begin with that it was the 3 that we obviously know, Boa Vista and Belenenses who had won it, so the 6th team was never happened. It was. There was a 6th or a 7th as well.
Yeah.
And it was a different club, but it was during wartime. So that might be a challenge in the future to try and get another club to win it.
Yeah.
For it to actually count. Now, other competitions then. Let's see how we did. Because we were the winner of the Allianz Cup. We were knocked out the semi-final by Benfica in the Taça de Portugal. And we were knocked out the quarter-final by Liverpool again.
Yeah, but we qualified.
We did,
So
and we got to the quarters
and
as
got to the
well,
quarter, yeah.
which is not bad at all, really. Real Madrid beat PSG on penalties in the final. But yeah, first round knockout stage, we come up against Lazio. We beat them on penalties. We mentioned penalties in a very recent video
we did,
on the second channel.
Yeah.
Make sure you check it out. Of course, we've got the live com, which would have happened previously last week. I hope you come and check that out. That must have been so much fun. I can't wait for that. So in the quarterfinals then, we faced Liverpool. They beat us 7-6 on aggregate.
That's not bad
We
against
beat them
them.
4-2 at Anfield.
That's a hell of a result.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
that's not
That is
bad
a
at
hell
all.
of a result.
Yeah, we took it to them.
I mean, to score 6 goals against Liverpool, especially for Anfield, is we've got a good side.
Yeah,
We've got a good side.
Absolutely. So we didn't do too bad there. And I think maybe it's because, I mean, look at how much goal scoring that was. We went 2 goal scoring at Anfield, but it's not really something that you can change when you holiday. You can't go, I want you to play really attacking, but then if you ever come up against Liverpool, don't do that. Like, this is something you can't do.
You go back to that page that you just had then with all the results there. Look at the team that's in that group.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've done well to get into that.
Yeah.
I
We
think.
stand out like a sore thumb, don't we, as a club that...
I mean, any one of those other teams would have been praying to draw against us.
Yeah, I mean, Man City, in real life, would have got them.
Yeah.
Because they did.
Yeah.
They did. They always get the crap draw, don't they?
Yeah.
I heard they've pulled out Rotherham in the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
they have,
Rotherham's not even in it. So squad-wise then, we can see Thiago Tomas scored 55 goals in, 55 appearances, and Vitinha got 51 in 53 with 5 from the bench. So 106 goals from our 2 strikers alone.
Not bad, eh?
No. And then Cade Cowell, 20 goals, 16 appearances and 16 assists in whatever it is that he's played there, 50 games. Not bad at all.
No, definitely not.
Pedro Gonçalves has dropped off a little bit, but he's still got a lot of assists. If you take a look at assists, Nuno Santos there with 25, Pedro Gonçalves with 22, and Vitinha with 17 makes the top 3. So many goals that's come from this season. But we've got one final season. Let's take us to the 5th year. Now, unfortunately, Thiago Tomas refused to sign a new contract
Did he?
throughout the whole season and left on a free.
Money.
Scum.
Yeah.
Scum, you are.
I mean, we won the league. We got to the semi-finals, quarter-finals of the Champions League, and he didn't want to be with us.
No, exactly. We got as far as what Man City did.
He can go.
Off your
Let
pot.
him go.
Left on a free transfer after scoring 30 league goals last season. He's already got 2 for Man City. That's disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is disappointing. Young as well, 23 years of age, come through the youth academy.
I mean, playing in his own country. I mean, everybody wants to play in their own country, don't they?
Yeah, but Man
And
City's
playing on the
millions.
top side as well.
Yeah.
So it's money, innit?
Man City's billions.
That's why he wouldn't sign. He goes on a free contract because he gets more money in his pocket.
Exactly that. So he was the main player that left. We didn't actually make a lot of money, and we only spent 15 million. I didn't replace him. I bought a player from Brazil. We like our Brazilians.
Yeah.
We do. Brenner, 25 years of age. I think he looks better anyway than Thiago Tomas. We've had to spend a little bit of money, don't get me wrong, 10.75 million, but 5 goals in 5 games.
Hey, that's what you get with a Brazilian.
Exactly. And look at he's a goal scorer. He's scored a few goals already so far in this simulation.
He's
so
at the
we've gotta be
great
happy
running
with
straight
that.
away, isn't he?
Absolutely. Now, Braga got relegated, so I thought I'd go for their legendary Ricardo Horta player, who, if you're playing Football Manager and you haven't signed Ricardo Horta, you haven't played Football Manager correctly. He is always available at some point. He's just going to be a squad player for us, but when I seen that they went down, I seen if he was interested in signing, I seen how cheap
straight away.
I could get him for 26 million,
Yeah.
2.6 million, sorry. Originally come through the Benfica Youth Academy, so you got to be happy when you make a signing like that.
Yeah.
Finally, Rodrigo Conceição is a youngster. Now, he's a right back. We had a few good players who can play in the role, but I think squad-wise we needed to add a little bit more, and I'm thinking of you guys who've taken it over on the Patreon because he only cost £1.6 million, and he looks quite good, to be fair. So we're bringing him in, a good 5-star potential, almost 4.5 star, only 17, valued very high. That one's for you guys in the Patreon. Tactically then, we stick with the same, and we're playing Brenner and Vitinha up top. I didn't think I needed to change it just simply because we've lost Thiago Tomas. We were the league winners. We played very well. We're scoring a lot of goals. If we come up against a difficult club in Europe, we're just going to have to try and score more goals than them. That is the main aim for us. If we take a look at our schedule, we have started very well. However, our first 2 games were Porto, then Benfica. Now, we beat Benfica in the Cup 5-3 in the Super Cup, which is a good result for us. And then we played Porto straight away. We beat them 2-1 at Porto as well.
Good result.
But then a home loss against Benfica. Look at the goals.
Oh, you're having a laugh.
Yeah. We were 1-0 up in the
2 goals in 90
till the
minutes
90th.
onwards.
95th minute, they bag a winner. Cheats, must have been.
Fergie time.
They can't win a European Cup though, can they, Bela Guttmann? Now, Portimonense, 3-2 victory against them, 4-0 against Nacional, and Penafiel 4-1 against them. Our Champions League group looks like this. It's a lot easier than what we have seen previously.
Oh, I'll take that.
Exactly. Which must mean, did Roma win the league?
They must have done.
I think they must have, to be honest. No, they haven't. They must just finish second then, because that's obviously the draw. We won, well, we were the top seed, and then Roma must have been the second seed. Celtic coming in with Copenhagen there, 2 teams that we've already played in this rebuild.
We should qualify for the...
I'd be very disappointed if we
range.
end up in Europa League from that draw.
That, yeah.
Okay, let's simulate the final season. And so, we finish winners. That goal difference again, plus 90. We didn't have as many points as last time, but we still dominated. If you take a look at the league positions, we were first for such a long time. Vitinha getting 50 goals in total. Let's take a look at the league then. We lost 3 games. Obviously, we lost one at the start to Benfica. It was a double loss to Benfica across the season.
Oh, but they laughed.
So fans aren't going to be happy with that. However, they did finish in 3rd and some way off top where we were. So 85 points. We still won the league. We scored 131. Mental, isn't it? How many goals you can score in Portugal is unbelievable sometimes.
You look at the top 3 teams though, they only lost 3 games each.
Yeah, it's very tight at the top.
Yeah.
Porto still have Erik Ten Hag. No, they don't. Cheryshev is now manager there, so they obviously didn't like what Ten Hag did. Benfica manager is Unai Emery. Ooh. Quite an interesting one there.
Yeah.
If you take a look at their manager history, Verissimo was sacked in the 2023 season. Unai Emery has been in charge for 2 years and only has 2 cup wins. Speaking of those cups,
come on,
did we win it in the final season? We won the Allianz Cup, but we were knocked out by Vitoria in that. And look who knocked us out in the first round of the Champions League. Manchester United again.
With all their Portuguese players.
With all their Portuguese players, João Palhinha going, oh, I'm so sorry. They beat us 6-5. I said, didn't I, that we will try and score as many goals as possible against them. 6-5. Man City getting the easy draw. They got Celtic. Shock. Which meant Celtic knocked out Roma in our group stage.
Yeah.
And Copenhagen. So they sent Roma back into the Europa League, I guess.
Well done, yeah.
But yeah, 4-3 in the away leg at Old Trafford, 6-5 on aggregate. It's disappointing, it's unfortunate. However, domestic double, I suppose, in that final season. We only lost 2 of the season, so we won 3 out of the 2.
Yeah.
Not bad at all, I think.
No.
And we won 4 or 5 cups each on both sides. 51 goals for Vitinha, 45 for Brenner. A fantastic amount there. 37 for Pedro Gonçalves, which is insane, really, for a shadow striker role. So really good overall. Dad, what do you think should be the 5-year target? And do you think this is a successful one?
Yes, I do. Definitely, we done well.
Yeah.
The one thing we missed out on is going to be the target, a European trophy. And I don't care whether it's the Europa Cup or I prefer the Champions Cup.
Yeah.
But one of them two
Yeah.
is the challenge.
Yeah. I think so too.
We got a good enough squad, good enough attack to win the league. So I reckon that whoever takes over the squad, it's got a good squad there to win the league. But can they do better in Europe than we did?
Yeah.
That's
if you
the
look at
challenge.
our team right now, we have so many fantastic players that are reaching their prime, including the 2 strikers. Brenner and Vitinha will score you goals no matter what.
Yeah.
I think the weakness that you're going to have to rebuild is that goalkeeper position. He's 2.5 star. He's good. He's not amazing. And Coates, he's 35 now.
Yeah.
He's still good enough now, but in 2 or 3 seasons, he won't be.
You need someone to come in behind him and learn off him.
Exactly, and you possibly need a good partner for him as well. Yeah. So you still got Pedro Porro, you still got a decent enough left side, but I think the 2 centre-backs and that goalkeeper position is where you need to focus on if you're going to take this on.
Can't keep scoring more goals than you can we?
Exactly.
You know.
So that's patreon.com/Mega Gaming on the £5 tier. Thank you very much for all my Patreon members. It was a fantastic month last year. You've all been letting me know how you've been getting on, so really do appreciate it. Make sure to download Spitch if you can. Join me and Dad in that league. Dad, thank you very much for joining me today.
No problem.
And of course, like target was
1,000.
It was 1,000, and we also asked you to name a club in the top 5 leagues from the 2nd divisions, though. The top 5 countries, 2nd division. Name a club and why in the comment section. We'll put it in the Patreon poll for next week. See you soon. Bye-bye. Patreon members has finally voted for Porto.
Hey.
It's only about the 17th time that they've been on the Patreon poll, and finally they have won one. So all of you Porto fans, you can finally stop parading the comments. Yeah, we're finally doing it. The 3rd out of the top 3 in Portugal that we have yet to do. This is finally going to happen today. I've got to say, they already have a good team.
Yeah.
There's not a lot that we can do domestically to improve them.
Well, they've just come off a run, a record run of unbeaten in the league. 52 games, is it? I think 58 games.
Yeah. So
they won the league and they won 58. Unbeaten on 58 times.
They are a very good team.
So I think we took them at the right time, to be honest. Yeah.
Very much so. Yeah. They've got one of the most funny club cultures I've ever seen, and I laughed at this as soon as I joined. Sign players from your domestic rivals. Is that sort of like like go on, sign some of their players.
That's to stop them from winning, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's like a 6-pointer, really, isn't it? You take their best player, you end up improving you and making them a lot worse. So yeah, like I mentioned before, this is one of those where there's not a lot that we can really do, but what we're going to try and do is win something, maybe in Europe. Try and increase the dominance.
They've won the Champions League twice and the Europa League twice. They've just won the league with been an unbeaten run like that, so we know we've got a good team. So our challenge really is not to win the league; it's to win a European trophy.
Absolutely. I mean, we have to win the league, but that goes without saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so this first season then for transfers, you do get a little bit, just not too much. And what to be honest, I didn't really sign anybody. So what I was going to focus on mainly is this first season, trying to establish who I wanted to keep and who is probably going to end up leaving.
Yeah.
Because at the minute, yes, this team is the best team in the country, but we have a very bloated squad.
Right.
And a lot of these players in the Portuguese league who are very good, they tend to go to the bigger European sides. Of course, they've just lost Luis Diaz to Liverpool, of course. So
good signing.
Exactly, and that is going to be the story of that in real life as well. They've just lost Fabio Vieira.
Right.
Vitinha is another player that has been linked to go to Manchester United. Whether that will happen, we don't know. But yeah, this is very much a selling club, and it's got to the point where there's already, at the start of the season, a couple of clubs around a few of our better players.
Yeah. I think when you look at their history as well, whenever they do really well and do well in Europe as well, like you're saying,
they get picked apart.
Yeah, they lose their managers, they lose players, all within the space of maybe 1 or 2 seasons.
Yeah. The Portuguese league is not exactly fully established like the La Liga or the Premier League to be able to keep hold of their players. The money's just not there. But I think what they managed to do really well is buy cheap from South America or even bring up through the Portuguese. I mean, this game, there is not another country where there are as many wonder kids as there are from Portugal. And you think Portugal's not that big of a country compared to the likes of France, Germany, Spain. But my God, there's so many amazing players in Portugal. So what I've decided to do this first season is have a look, and I've gone for a narrow tactic. And I'm being a little bit silly because they do have decent wingers, but they can all play on the inside as well. So I'm going to try this to begin with. We got Ivanilson playing up top. He can also play out on the left should we need him to. He's one of these guys that maybe in a couple of years' time, if he does really well for us, there's going to be some big clubs coming in for him, and it might be a struggle to keep hold of him. But his value is quite good right now. He's only 21. He's only been here for a couple of years that we've bought from Brazil, so it's time for him to step up and score some goals. Taremi in the shallow striker role, I've got him nailed in there every game because I want to play him there more often because he's not exactly a natural. If I let the assistant manager do it, they would more than likely play this guy up top and Evangelson will get a game. But for a 21-year-old, he needs the game time. So, playing this guy in the shallow striker role because he's very good at passing ability, but we need him on the pitch for everything else. That he's very well-rounded. He's just not super quick. So I think that's a good decision, the Iranian Taremi. So other than that, this is what we're running. Let's see how we've done, because so far this season we have played 4 games and we have won 3 and drew 1. The draw wasn't just a bit of an unfortunate one, really. They scored a penalty and it was away from home. It's just one of those games. However, the games that we did win, a 2-1 win there. Pepe scoring 2. I mean, we all love Pepe because of how bad of a discipline record he had at Real Madrid, wouldn't it? I don't think it's actually been that bad since he's gone back to
I just laugh at him whenever I see him as well. He just got one of those funny faces, isn't
he? You just think he's so cheeky because he knows he's getting sent off. So, I mean, he's 38 now and he's still decent. He's still decent.
119 caps for Portugal. That's
unbelievable, isn't it? A special player. A very underrated player as well. I mean, he was playing at Porto for a few years. Right after they won the Champions League, I believe they signed him to replace Ricardo Carvalho. I might be wrong, Porto fans, but from when I clicked on and seen Pepe and looked, and I thought, that's the Ricardo Carvalho replacement. Of course, after winning the Champions League in 2004, Jose Mourinho went to Chelsea. He took Ricardo Carvalho with him.
So it might have been,
Some might say Ricardo Carvalho was the guy who turned John Terry into a quality defender. There we go.
Talking about Jose Mourinho, when he had his interview to take over Porto, he actually said, I will win the league next season.
Yeah, and he did.
He won the treble.
I am Jose Mourinho.
Bloody hell. Oh, yeah, because he won the Champions League that year, didn't he?
Yeah. He went and won the league, the cup, and the I think it was the Europa Cup then, no?
Yeah, because they did back-to-back, didn't they?
Yeah, then they won the Champions League the year after.
Yeah, so if we take a look here, the Europa League was won 2003 under Jose Mourinho, and he won the Champions League 2004.
The 2004 season is the well-known season for Man United, wasn't it? When he was at Man United running down the touchline.
When he was running down the touchline after knocking us out.
Do you know, because I think they won the home leg 2-1.
Yeah.
And the second leg, which is at Old Trafford, they were 1-0 down until the 90th minute, and then they scored.
Yeah.
And that's when he'd done his run all the way down there.
Jose Mourinho is joining in the celebrations. Manchester United are heading out.
Absolutely hated him, despised him.
The special one.
Yeah. Who would have thought he was running down the touchline after winning nothing at United years later as our manager? Us a shame. But there we go. He also did that at your club too.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
He's been around the block a bit, isn't he? But a legend, of course, of
like him,
Porto.
like him.
You can't hate Jose Mourinho. But yeah, So I think Ricardo Carvalho, Pepe was his replacement. He is here now, and he is scoring some goals somehow. He's got 2 in the first one. He's got 1 in the second. He is scoring some goals. A 4-1 win against Maritimo as well. And then, of course, that draw against Boavista. Okay, so that sees Sporting and Benfica top with maximum points. We're trailing right now in 3rd place, but our Champions League group is... It's a difficult one.
Ooh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely a difficult one.
Bayern Munich and Sevilla are the 2 clubs that join us in our group, with Olympiacos, who will probably be the whipping boys out of the 4 clubs.
Talking about Bayern Munich, that's the team they beat in the 1986-87 final, Champions League final.
The first time that they won it. So,
there's a bit of history I'll bet against them, so...
Yeah, 2 very recent times as well.
I'm not 100% sure, but correct me if I'm wrong, I think they've lost a final to Seville. For some reason, in the Europa
probably in the Europa League. So Sevilla have won it
really
quite a
good.
few times recently,
They were really good there, weren't they?
Yeah, so they've won it back to back, didn't they? 14 to 16. So it might have been around one of those times. I think Porto was quite decent around then. I might be wrong, to be fair. But I must say, Porto must be one of the only teams since it's gone into the Champions League and Europa League who have won both back to back. I don't think there's ever been a club that's done that.
No.
Maybe made a final. Maybe Atletico Madrid made a final. I'm not quite sure, but possibly the Cup Winners' Cup to the the European Cup.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody's ever done Europa League to Champions League.
No.
That's some achievement.
Yeah, definitely.
That is definitely some achievement.
That's what Jose Mourinho brings to you, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it brings something special. All right, then, let's simulate this first season. Right, the first season... Benfica have come out of nowhere. Now, before you jump down my throat about this, I want you to see how well we actually did this season.
Right, go on ahead.
Because we got 88 points.
We only lost 2.
We only lost 2 games and drew 4. That is a very good league campaign.
Oh, yeah.
But Benfica
only lost 1 and drew 2, though.
Yeah,
That's
won,
why they won the league.
31 out of 34 games. That's outrageous. Yeah. That is outrageous. And they're scoring some goals. If you take a look at that, they beat Braga 7-3 away. Braga are a very decent team. They beat us 2-0. They drew 2 games, probably against us. Yeah, 0-0 draw. And Pacos de Ferreira. And they only lost 1 against Boavista.
I think Braga as well were the team that brought our unbeaten run to a halt this season.
Possibly. They tend to be like the 4th best at the minute. They do have some really good Portuguese players. So... It's unfortunate we haven't won the league, but you've got to say
we're still in the Champions League.
Benfica.
We're still in the Champions League.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Champions League qualification.
Yeah.
We scored look at this though. We scored the most goals and conceded the least, and we still didn't win the league.
Yeah,
that's mental, isn't it? I don't think I've ever seen that. Imagine somebody tells you at the start of the season you're going to score the most goals and you're going to concede the least amount. You go, just give us a trophy now.
Yeah.
No.
You still haven't won the league.
No. Unbelievable, really. Right. Okay then. Other competitions. Let's pin our hopes on something here. How have we done? Well, with the winner of the Taça de Portugal placard, Allianz Cup we were knocked out the first round by Atletico Madrid. Always going to be a tricky game. Yeah. They've probably got Diego Simeone still there playing his Park the Bus 4-4-2, which I cannot stand watching. It's so, oh my God, those 2 legs with Man United played them, I thought.
Awful, wasn't it?
Oh, it's horrendous to watch. It got results, but it was horrendous to watch.
It's an odd ground to go to try and get a result.
Yeah, 100%. And he's an horrible bloke, isn't he?
But you wouldn't say no to him being your manager, though, would you?
You admire him. I would say no.
Would you?
But I couldn't stand watching that.
I'm going at the moment
because
Conte's all right.
Yeah. I couldn't watch that all the time.
No, you couldn't, no.
I mean, fair play. You see, like the Atletico Madrid games, their fans are cheering the whole way through.
Yeah.
I just think you must be like turning around and just drinking. You can't be watching this on the pitch and celebrating that much. We're going to get so many pelters in the comments. I reckon we will. But there we go. All right, so we've won 1 cup. They've tackled to Portugal. Not bad. What about goals and stuff? Who have been scoring the most amount of goals? Pepe, maybe? He's up there. He's 5th top scorer. 37 for Evanilson. That's very good. And very 32 good for Taremi.
That's good, isn't it? 69 goals to 2 players. You can't
100%. Yeah. An on-loan player getting 17 goals and 16 assists. Peglo. Now, this guy was already on loan at the club, and we've got a clause that we can buy him for £4.3 million.
Got to be done, doesn't it?
That's got to be done, as long as they give us the money. We don't know how much they're going to give us. I mean, it doesn't look amazing. He's only 20, but the results speak for themselves. 15 goals and 15 assists in 32 appearances.
Good, isn't it?
Very good. good.
And at the end of the day, we can't do a rebuild without buying a Brazilian.
Well, that's true. That's true. So we might have to just enact that just to say. I mean, Portugal, they're constantly signing Brazilians because obviously they speak the same language, and a lot of just South Americans. Colombia is another country that, like, Falcao was turned up. Jackson Martinez, he was a Portuguese legend at Porto as well.
Yeah.
I remember he had an unbelievable season, and then 2 seasons later he's playing in China. Mental, just crazy. But money, exactly, money talks. So yeah, we have to act that, and we've got £28.5 million to do that. That's not bad. No. £4 million on Peglo, and then £24 million elsewhere.
Take it.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what we can do. Right, okay. Over to the second season. Well, we have done it. We have acted the clause of Peglo. However, he asked to be loaned back to Internacional to finish their season, which, remember, is the Brazilian league, so he'll come back to us halfway through the year. But don't worry, I've got a plan to replace him because he was playing on that right-hand side. I've got a plan. Well, he's playing centre attacking midfielder. So he has gone back to Internacional. He scored a goal. He's got an assist. Don't panic. He is going to be our player, though. That's absolutely fine by me. We have signed 3 more players. And guess what, Dad? They're all Brazilian. You wanted 1, I signed 4. We did sell a player, though, to Atletico Madrid. João Mario has left the club. He is a Portuguese player who can play on the right-hand side predominantly, all the way up the pitch and on the left. It was a little bit of money, to be fair. £22.5 million. Player from the youth academy. When I was weighing up my first few games of the season, he was sat on the bench.
Yeah.
So when they offered £20 million, and I thought I can bring in a couple of more players from that, I thought it would be a good idea to do just that. So João Mario has left the club, and we have signed a few more players. I actually think we got £5 million left over going into the window. So the first player we brought in was Marcus Leonardo. Now this guy from Santos, we've rated Santos a little bit, can play up top, but can also play from the left. He has a good potential on the game, but what I like about him the most, his finishing ability. He has 15 for finishing, composure, anticipation, good acceleration, good off the ball.
Good, isn't it, for a 19-year-old?
Yeah, can't argue with that. That's all. That's the fundamentals that I look for every single time I search for a striker, and he has all of them. £11.75 million. He scored 7 goals last season for Santos. He's played 4 games so far, but 3 were off the bench, and he hasn't scored just yet. But they're okay for average ratings.
Yeah.
Kelvin. That's the best thing about Brazilians is their names, isn't it?
Yeah.
If they were all like Dave and Steve, I don't think anybody would really care. But Kelvin has joined us. He's a right back who we picked up from Paranaense. £8 million. A decent right back, to be fair. We've lost João Mario, but this guy actually comes in as a better defensive option at right back, and he will be starting majority of the games this season. Again, he's only 21. He's got a little bit more potential in the tank too, and he's already picked himself up 2 assists in the league with a man of the match. For a right back, that's very good.
Yeah.
But the final player that I think will be using the majority of this season is Kaiki. He is a centre back. The only downside to him is he's 5'11", and he's not that brave in the air, but on the ball he is quality. And I think what we got to think about in Porto is, well, with Porto, is that in the Portuguese league, we are supposed to be winning and dominating games. We're supposed to be dominating the ball. It's only when you go into the Champions League and European competitions where it might be a little bit more even Stevens, or we're chasing the ball around. So when we're playing Portuguese games, Kaiki's perfect because his on-the-ball technique is amazing. He's 15 for vision, 13 for passing with a very decent first touch.
Only 18 as well.
He's only 18.
For an 18-year-old.
Very good player for an 18-year-old. He's one of the best centre-backs that you can potentially buy on the game for potential. Has very good physical attributes. Maybe he will grow. £13.25 million. He played 20. Look how many games. He's only 18. He's played the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
A lot of games as well. We've played in 5 games so far this season, and he's got a very high average rating. Probably one of the highest that we have so far. So that's 4 signings that I think are very good, and 1 on the outs, which I think made sense to me. However, we have decided to change the tactic round a little bit. We're going to a wide formation now.
Right.
And the reason for this is Porto's current manager, Sergio Conceição, he has a son in the youth academy, Francisco. This guy's insane. Now, last season, we didn't use him. We played in the Portal. No, he didn't even play in the Portal B. Maybe it was a wasted year, to be fair, because now he's 19. He's ready for first team football. He's quality. He can play on that right hand side. He can play across the front, to be fair. But I think this guy is probably one that we need to look for in the future as going to be one of our best players. So we need to start him a lot more. And 2 goals, 2 assists,
already.
player of the match in 6 games.
7.27 average rating's good.
He's a very good player for a 19-year-old. So I want to make sure he is guaranteed to play as many games as possible. This is basically the exact same tactic that we were using beforehand, but inverted wingers instead of shadow strikers there.
Yeah.
So they're just playing a little bit more wide, and maybe the actual instructions suggest that too. So that's what we're going with. Schedule-wise then, we have lost one game already, and it was to Benfica. And guess who got sent off?
At home, Pepe.
Age 39 now. Pepe is still playing, and he got himself sent off, and he's still happy about it.
Yeah.
He had been unhappy with a low level of general training. He's 39 and he wants more training. Unbelievable. But the rest of the campaign, we've actually lost him twice because we lost in the Super Cup, but it's one of those I don't really play my strong team 9 times out of 10. Start of the season, though, has gone very well up until that point. 1-0, 2-1, 3-0 against Rio Ave, 4-1 against Santa Clara, 4-0 against Maritimo. There's a lot of goals in there. You'll see some familiar names, including Evangelson and Otavio getting a few as well. Okay, our Champions League group, though. That's another difficult one. Like Sevilla, Ajax are up there with one of the teams that are going to be competing for that second spot.
It's between us and them, I think.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, Man City, I think, will win the group. Talking about the group stages, though, there's something I was quite surprised with. Porto are the 3rd highest team for qualifying through the group stages.
To the group stage.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. That's some
behind
record.
2 teams.
Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Spot on, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which does surprise me that one of them is not Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Because when you said that, I started saying, well, it's got to be Real Madrid, Barcelona, and then I thought Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, no, they all have to have done. Yeah.
So the 3rd behind them two.
Fair play.
Getting into the group
4th
stages.
must be Bayern.
I would have thought
Has
so,
to
but,
be.
Yeah, I was quite surprised with that. So
Manchester City, though, that's going to be the team to beat. Unfortunately, it is still Pep Guardiola at the helm, so that's going to be difficult. And of course, Ajax, they now have Alfred Schroeder at the helm, seeing as obviously Ten Hag has moved to Manchester United.
I mean, Young Boys is one of those funny teams, isn't they?
Always there, aren't they?
Yeah, they're
Recently.
always there.
Very good.
Aren't they? So
on Football Manager as well, you can go to Young Boys and you can pick off a few really good players.
Yeah,
They've got some decent players at their club, so always take a look at Young Boys.
I think this is going to be down to my old saying: "You've got to win your own
I was
games."
so hoping you said that. It's going to be a t-shirt. It has to be soon.
Must win your own games.
You must win your home games. Always got to win your home
Europe.
games. Right, okay, let's simulate this second season. Second season, and we're back at the top.
That's better.
And look, we got the exact same points as what we did last season. And yet this time we won the league by 3 points.
And we still lost 2 games, and Benfica still only lost 1 game.
Mental, really. They just drew more this time round.
Yeah.
So unfortunately for them, they could not
Who
continue
did they lose
scoring.
against? Was it us? Was it us?
Please be us. No, Rio Ave. No, I've got a feeling at some point they lost their key striker, so that might be it. So if I take like £94 million, Rafa and Gonzalo Ramos, who went to Manchester City, they've been raided. So yeah, I seen that Gonzalo Ramos went to Manchester City. He's the guy who's been scoring their goals because last season he got 15. So obviously that's cost them this year.
Yeah,
they only
definitely,
reinvested £29 million, and I don't really see an out-and-out striker there. So they're relying on what they already had.
Yeah.
And if we take a look at tactics, sometimes it will show you who they've been playing quite a lot at top. Oh, they got Cavani on a free.
Ooh.
That's a good signing, to be fair. So Cavani and Yaremchuk playing in a 4-4-2. 4-4-2? They haven't got Simeone, have they? Roger Smith is the manager. Imagine if Simeone appeared. I'd have left. I'd have gone. That would have been me done. But we've won the league. That's the most important thing so far this season that we have checked. And Sporting still hanging on there, only 7 points behind us there.
It would have been interesting as well. Although we were one of the goal difference. If they had won that game, one game that they'd lost, they'd have gone the whole season directly. But would they have won the league? But I think we'd have beaten them on goal difference.
Well, is it goal difference, or we can take a look at the rules here? So it is done. Teams have got against other teams on the same points would be sorted by goal difference, then away goal scored. So it's not head to head. We would have won the league, thankfully. So yeah, that's good. Very good from us. Other competitions though, have we managed to progress through against Ajax? Oh, by the way, Evangelson, top scorer of the league there. Vitinha, highest average rating. That's really good. We need to remember to always check things like that. What about other competitions then? Well, we're the winner of the Allianz Cup. We were knocked down the 5th round of the Task to Portugal. We got through, but Bayern Munich was the team.
2 years in a row they knocked us out.
Knocked us out. So, yeah. Which, by the way, Paris Saint-Germain and Liverpool play in the final. Manchester United are the holders. Go on, Eric. You bloody legend. Everybody knows that's going to... Do you know when we always predict transfers on this? Like Yves Bissouma obviously moved to Tottenham the day after. Brian Gill's another one, the Southampton takeover. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Champions League. Somebody's going to be watching this next year and go, bloody hell, Luke, you predicted that?
Nah.
I can only certainly hope. Taremi got 28 goals this season. Evangelson got 26, so lower from him this time round, but he did get a couple more assists. However, remember, we're not nailing him on in position like we were last season. Who we did do that to, though, is Conceição. 15 goals and 11 assists with a 7.2 average rating is very good for the young 20-year-old.
Yeah, it is good.
And he's progressing quite nicely as well. You can already see a few of those attributes have increased. That's what we like to see. That's the reason why we use him as much as possible, because if we didn't use him, the assistant probably wouldn't use him. He would never get that growth.
No.
And we wouldn't be better from it in a couple of years' time when he is one of the world's best right midfielders instead of somebody who could have made it.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, I think, right there. So, very good. Vitinha, 13 assists there. Honestly, if you haven't signed Vitinha playing Football Manager this year, don't know what you're doing, because he plays in so many different positions. He's so good. He does, however, want a new deal, and he's already on 47k. So, yeah, that's going to be the tricky thing. However, how much money did we get? Well, 27, but they're very consistent. That's exactly the same amount as what we did last time. Pepe, by the way, is finally leaving at the age 40. He's not retiring, though. No. He's just going back to Spain. He's still going. Unbelievable. Fair play to Pepe. But there we go. I don't want to sign him on anymore. Right, okay, on to the third season. The only player who really left for a significant amount of money was Wilson Manafa, 29 years of age, Portuguese player who can play both right back and left back. However, his technical abilities don't suggest that he's that good. Probably just down to his pace. Reason why people would ever want to sign him, or he's got a good rating on this. Now we have signed, though, 3 more players. Let's take a look at them. For free transfer, this I think is very good. Justin Kluivert, son of Patrick.
Must be a good player then, already.
Yeah, I think he's got like 3 or 4 sons.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing one of them in the Ajax Youth Academy, and I thought, wow, he's good. Then they're like, Justin Kluivert's just son. I thought, hey, he didn't look that old. But they've got like 3 or 4 sons. So Justin Kluivert, he's been around the block a bit. He's been to Ajax, Roma, Leipzig. Now he's left and he's joined us for a free transfer. 2 assists already in those 3 games. I think that's very decent indeed. He's only 24. Long time to go for him to use, but he's got some really good fundamental attributes as our number 7 and can play from both wings. Our second free transfer is Namdi Collins, a German centre-back with a lot of pace. 17th both pace and acceleration. He's good defensively, but it's like all he could do. Like, don't ask him to dribble a ball. Like, that's dreadful. And he's not very good at leadership either, but Football Manager rate him so highly because I think he's just got a lot of pace. Yeah, I think pace and anticipation means that because he's always out of position, he's always tracking back, and because he can catch up with them and tackle, they're like, he's amazing. It's like, yeah, but if you had somebody decent at positioning, they probably won't get in that situation. But there you go. We got him on free transfer. We have actually used him twice already from the bench. He's got a decent average rating. But the main sign in this was another player from Roma, Jose Mourinho, coming in clutch for his own club. Matthias Viña is a left back that we have signed from Uruguay. We like the South Americans, of course, here in Porto. This guy is so well-rounded and he easily slots in as our best left-back this season. Some really good physical attributes. Everywhere is really decent on the mentals. And if you think about it, there's only 2 attributes that he has that isn't a 10, and it's free kicks and penalties. It's
good,
it's not bad, is it? No. It's a very well-rounded player.
I've just had a message from Jose Mourinho, actually.
Yeah. Sent you a text today.
Yeah, he did. He said, buy my best players, because when you 2 are finished, I'm coming back.
He's coming back again, yeah. Makes sense. Okay, £11.5 million, so we only paid 0.5 more than what they did 2 seasons before, and he only didn't really play that much, to be fair, at Roma. I just want to check that it is still... Yes, yeah. Right, so that's 3 really good signings, to be fair, and it does leave us with a little bit left still, £14 million. Didn't feel like there was a player that I could pick up which would improve our side at that point. So I feel like if I save it for next season, we might get a little bit more to play around with, but... That never works out, does it? So, tactically, I think we just stick with exactly what worked last season. We won the league, we did okay in Europe, we've added to the side that we have, and not to mention the players that we had already from last season getting better. Yeah. And I think that's the most important.
And we're buying young players as well, which is good as well.
Exactly, because they always have better potential.
Yeah, sets it up for the people to take over from us, doesn't it?
Of course, I'm glad you said it. Patreon members on the £5 tier, you get access to the save game file at the end of the 5 years, and Dad will set you a challenge for the next 5 years. So thank you to everybody who's been signing up. Patreon.com/MakeLukeGaming. Make sure you check that out at the end of the video. If you want to carry this on, the exact save game file, from the point that we leave it, you can carry on, do whatever you will, whether you just want to look at it or whether you want to take out the 5-year challenge that Dad's going to give you. Carson Sal is going to start every single game again, like we did last season. It makes sense to me, just in case I'm giving him some game time. He's already scored 3 goals as well. Very good.
Yeah, very good.
So in those games, let's see. So we lost the Super Cup to Sporting.
Ooh.
And we have dropped some points already to Belenenses.
Don't like losing cup finals to Sporting or Benfica.
No. Belenenses, by the way, is the team which is ceased to exist and's gone down to like 6 divisions, and they created this team in the top division.
Oh, right.
Okay, so I think there's only like 6 teams that have won the Portuguese league outside of the war, which we established in a previous rebuild.
Yeah.
And the original Belenenses was that team. I did see a funny game this year, and I don't know whether you ever seen it. It made the news. It's nothing to do with Porto. It was to do with Benfica and Belenenses. When it was COVID, and they couldn't field enough players, so they had to use all of their youth academy.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And they had 3 goalies on the pitch.
Yeah.
And Benfica were like 7-0 up.
Yeah.
And they decided not to come out at halftime.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that was Belenenses.
Yeah.
So we actually drew with them 1-1. We beat that team there 7-0, and Evanilson scored 5. And Boavista we beat 3-0 there, and that's where Cousin Sal got himself 2. Very good start to the season other than that one little blip. But our Champions League group looks like this. Chelsea. Rangers.
I'll be very
PSV.
disappointed if we don't go through with Chelsea.
There are so many links with Porto and other European clubs, don't you think? Because so far we've had 3 different teams, and I think there's been a link with all 3. Chelsea obviously being a big one. The amount of players in the mid-2000s that went from Porto to Chelsea, as well as Jose Mourinho, of course.
Definitely,
So that's going to be quite a tricky game to get a result out of. Bielsa is there right now. Yeah, so Bielsa.
I've got to say, mate, do you think he's talking English yet?
Probably not. Okay, but Rangers and PSV are the other 2 teams in there. 2 clubs that I actually quite like, to be fair, and 2 clubs that I have done this year on Football Manager. So there we go. Right, okay. Shall we simulate the 3rd season and see how we get on?
Go for it.
Alright then, we have done it yet again, and this
points.
time by 10 points. We got 1 more point than what we did the last 2 seasons, because we only lost that 1 game. It was against Benfica. But yeah, we drew 5.
I'll take that.
Lost 1.
Take that.
Definitely.
Who did Sporting lose against then?
Let's see. Yeah, because they only lost 1 as well. Victoria, who actually got a decent side, to be fair, but they've dropped down into 10th place there. So, yeah. That's quite unusual, isn't it?
Yeah.
That 2 teams only ever lose 1 game in the league. So Sporting's done very well there. They're very much like what we mentioned before, where they've got a lot of youngsters, and if they don't get picked apart, and they keep them, which when you tend to do a save in that league without any other leagues loaded, that tends to happen quite often.
Yeah.
Sporting probably have got quite a lot of their players. Benfica are suffering now. They only won 24 out of 34 games there, so they've dropped off quite a lot, really, compared to where they were before. Statistically, or let's go to profile and we can see from here. Evanilson got 32 goals. Mauro Icardi has signed for Benfica. He also has 32 goals. We probably did it in less games. That's the reason why we're top there. Carson Sal got the most assists, and Evanilson was 3rd there and the highest average rating. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, other competitions though. Now that we've won back-to-back
Come on, let's do a
league
double.
titles,
Let's do a double.
can we do something else? The winners of the Allianz Cup, we cannot win that Taca to Portugal, unfortunately. Now the Champions League is to be played between Liverpool and Inter. Liverpool are going for back-to-back here. Where do we land? So we were knocked out by Bayern Munich again.
I don't believe this.
7-4. We were actually leading.
What's the odds?
What are the odds of
knocked
that?
out then, but all the time.
That's outrageous, isn't it? That is the same, isn't it? That I'm not being stupid here. They have knocked out the same leg each time. Bayern Munich. No, it was Atletico Madrid the first season.
Oh, right.
So they were in our group.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich. So we've played them a lot.
Yeah.
We've played them at least twice every single Champions
Yeah.
League since we took over, but the last 2 seasons they've knocked us out. And it does look like we were leading in that first leg, or is it a 3-3? My maths is awful, so it's probably a 3-3. Yeah, 3-3. We played them at home. We drew 3-3. Thomas Müller got 3. What a player.
We
I
love Thomas
absolutely
Müller,
love
don't we?
him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go on, do your impression.
Good morning. That's it. He is brilliant. Lewandowski? Yeah. Lewandowski. Brilliant. Absolutely love him. So, yeah, I mean, can't argue with that. They're a good side. We're not quite there yet.
No.
Goals-wise.
We're building.
Exactly. Evanilson got 37 goals this season. That's actually quite low considering you got 32 in the league. You only got 5 more across all other campaigns, considering we're playing 3 cups and a Champions League. 10 assists. Taremi got 16. It's lower after the first top scorer, I think. That's our problem there. Conceição got a little bit more, though. 17 assists. Octavio got 13 and 13. That's decent. Kluivert in his first season didn't get a lot of goals, but he did get 15 assists, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm not too displeased by that. There are definitely signs that we can improve from that. Peglo actually stayed out on loan for another season, by the way. 5 goals and 4 assists. So we might have to bring him back at some point. I loaned him out to Tenerife. I didn't actually mention that there. But when he come back after his loan to Internacional, we never played him. Because, of course, we had Sergio Conceição.
Yeah.
So that's probably the reason why Peglo didn't really get a lot of game time after having quite a decent season for us when we played the 3 in that centre mid. Okay, on to the 4th season. Now, the worst thing happened, and I kind of anticipated it, because I said that I left some transfer money for us next season. They didn't give us a lot at all. In fact, we had less than what I actually left in there, because once I had started to offer players contracts to keep them at the club, they wanted to double their wages. Yeah. I could only buy in 1 player, and it was Yusuf Demir. Now, it's still a very good signing because Taremi is now 33, I think, or 32. So, in that shadow striker role, we need a new talent, and Yusuf Demir could be that guy. Of course, he played for Barcelona this year. There's obviously a reason why Football Manager and mainly in real life clubs rate him quite highly. He hopes he will learn a lot while at Porto. I hope you do too, Demir. So he's only 21. He can play from the right. He can play in behind the striker. He can even play up top or on the left should we need him to. But hopefully this is going to be his role here. He's not amazing right now. We need him to develop quickly, though. That's the main thing I think we need to take from this, because Taremi is now got to the point where we probably won't use him as much. Tactics, then. We are keeping it very similar. However, Yusuf Demir slots into this role as the shadow striker, playing every game. We don't need to put Conceição there anymore because he's the highest rated player there. Yeah. He has developed yet again into what I mentioned. Every season he's getting better and better, and that's fantastic to see. So we're all good on that front. We just need to give the game time to Yusuf Demir going forward, and we'll let the assistant manager pick around that so players don't get too knackered in the next games. Schedule wise then, let's take a look, because we have played a few games and we have won them all. We even beat Benfica in the Super Cup.
Yes. Good start.
Ideal. We haven't even conceded a goal in the league either.
Oh, that's even a better start.
Exactly. 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 1-0 and 3-0 against Famalicão at the end there. Evanilson got 2 and Justin Kluivert with 1. Even Yusuf Demir actually picked up 2 goals there against Santa Clara. So really good.
Yeah.
Really good. Even Peglo has come back and he scored a goal because we haven't loaned him out this season. We have just kept him at the club. He actually is quite good and he's going to fill in quite often from that left or in that centre position. Now he's definitely worth keeping him around. Our Champions League group then. I actually think we stand an outside chance of winning
the group?
Yeah. Borussia Dortmund are a good side, Dad, but
they've lost the main man, haven't they?
Yeah, they've still got Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
We probably know that they more than likely have got Yusufa Moukoko, but they don't have Erling Haaland, of course, anymore. They don't tend to build much of a massive squad anymore. Like, sometimes Dortmund used to think, bloody hell, like, they're hell of a good one. Yeah. But they don't tend to do that on this version of Football Manager. Dinamo Kiev and Trabzonspor, we shouldn't have no trouble of overthrowing, so I'd like to think we could win the group here.
We win the group, we get an easier first knockout stage, don't we? So that's...
And it will probably still be Bayern Munich.
Yeah, of course it will.
So, yeah, okay, so that's what I'm hoping for this season. Let's simulate it and see how this does. So, for the 4th season, we have won the league. 83 points, so it's less than what we have done recently, but it was enough. 80 points is Sporting, 79 is Benfica. They've closed the gap a little bit. We just lost 2 more games than what we did last season. Again to Benfica. They get us every time. Yeah. That's always been our one loss, is always going to be a Benfica loss. But still, that's fine.
Three times in a row now out of the 4?
3 in a row out of the 4.
That's not bad.
That's okay.
Can we make 5? Because 5 is the record in Portugal.
Well, we're going to have to let the Patreon members do that.
Which we owed. Yeah, so that could be got on to the Patreon members.
That's got to be the Patreon members to get the 5th.
And talking about the 5 as well, do you know who actually started that?
Jose Mourinho.
No.
Bobby Robson.
Yes. 1993-94, they signed Bobby Robson after he was sacked by
England?
No Sporting.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know he even
They sacked him.
See, I knew he was manager of Porto. I never knew he was manager of
I
Sporting.
didn't. And they took him on, and then the following season he won his first league title playing at he won the game at Sporting and won the league as well.
Amazing. That's so good.
So then the following season he went and won the league again.
Yeah.
And then he left to go to Barcelona then.
Yeah.
So
see, I knew he went to Barcelona from Porto. That's how I knew he was manager of Porto.
Yeah.
So when you said that and it wasn't Jose, I thought it's got to be Bobby Robson then, because we wouldn't know any other. Yeah, he's class. So, but yeah, so that's quite funny.
He actually started off the record of 5 totals in a row, which Porto actually owed at this present moment.
And that carried on from Bobby.
He won the first 2.
Fair play.
But he won his first one at Sporting. He must have loved that.
Oh, yeah.
I bet he was
especially they sacked him. Yeah. After sacking him, you can't beat that.
No.
So this season, we don't actually have top scorer of the league. Mauro Icardi got 28. The other 2 players there got 22 and went nowhere to be seen. Consensao, though, got the most assists and the highest average rating. So that's really good. Plus, the most player of the matches. This guy just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
But now he is wanted. Who is he wanted by, you might ask? Atletico Madrid,
don't want to go there.
PSG. You definitely don't want to go there.
PSG's got the money, but don't want to go Atletico Madrid, does he?
No. Competitions then.
Come on.
We have finally won the TACA to Portugal.
Yes.
And the Allianz Cup. So we're domestic treble winners. 4 if you count the Super TACA.
You've got to count it. We won 4 trophies out of 5.
Yeah. The UEFA Champions League, though, we cannot get back past that first round knockout stage. That tells me we did not finish top because Dortmund actually only faced Ajax.
Yeah.
Which means we're probably more than likely finish in second place in that group, which we can check out. Let's have a look. No, what? We actually went top of it.
We come top.
Chelsea came top of their group there against PSG, and Ajax finished above Man United. Is it still Ten Hag? We can't see. They probably sacked the manager, and you can't see who they've took over. So, that is disappointing. I can't believe I told you we get somebody difficult, and there's nobody more difficult than PSG in this game, is it? Still Poch. They still get Mbappe. That's just annoying. How frustrating is that? Okay, who's in the final?
It goes to show how wrong this game is at the moment, though, because we know Poch is not there.
He's out of the job.
He's out of the job. They've already told him.
Mbappe doesn't want him.
No, that's right. Yes, and I heard that they were interviewing Zinedine Zidane for the job.
Yeah.
Whether he's going to take it or no, but it's
good. Be an easy job for him to come in.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Especially obviously he's quite close, I'd imagine, with Mbappe being that he's a French legend.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, interesting stuff.
Whether he takes it, no, I don't know, but I know they were interested in giving him an interview for the job. So we know Poch is gone.
I'm just glad that they got rid of Poch after Man United already announced Ten Hag.
He's going to go there. I thought he was going to go there.
I would have been devastated. That would have been awful. Not that we're actually going to back Eric Ten Hag at this point. We still haven't made a signing yet. Okay then. So we haven't won the Champions League, but we are domestic treble winners. That's happy. 4 if you count the Super Cup. How many goals have we been scoring? It's probably less.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
23. Wow. Have a look at that though. 32 assists.
That's good, isn't it?
21 goals, 32 assists. Insane. Yusuf Demir gets 16 goals with 11 assists there. Marcus Leonardo, who played quite a lot. And that's not actually bad considering only 14 starts, 17 from the bench, 15 goals. That's still decent.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Pegler the same as well there. 13 goals from only 8 starts. And Justin Kluivert 10 and 10. That's what I think is quite weak. The Justin Kluivert situation there. But okay, we move forward to season number 5. Are they going to back us this summer? £24 million. It's never a lot, is it?
We do improve though.
Exactly.
We've won the league the last 3 seasons. You've got to strengthen your squad to be better in Europe, haven't you? So
yeah, but you need money to do that.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate situation that we're in. Okay, only 2 players have joined us for a grand total of £28.5 million. Now, before we take a look at them, I had a huge offer. And I sat here and contemplated accepting it for so long for Consensao. But I rejected it.
Good.
It was for £65 million, I think. Which is a lot of money. Yeah. And we could have brought in a couple of more players. But I weighed it up and I thought, keep him. The club who offered it, Manchester United. Vanderson is the first player in the door. It's another Brazilian right back. He's just slightly better than Kelvin. Right. We got him from Monaco for a cheap cost as well of only £11 million because he hasn't played the last couple of years. We've played in 4 games so far at right back. He's got 4 assists. Oh, that's very good, isn't it? That's very good indeed. So Vanderson, welcome to the club. But this signing is a very unique one because it's not very often I sign a region and actually play them in the top division. But I think Sergi could be one of them. 20 years of age. He's 6'4". He's a powerhouse, but he's quick. He can jump. He's a very good centre-back for just 20 years of age. From Barcelona's youth academy, £17.25 million transfer listed. Wanting to play more games because last season he only got 6.
And he's got 3 goals in 4 games.
He has got 3 goals in 4 games.
And he's a centre-back.
Because he is attacking corners with his 17 jumping reach, 18 bravery and 16 heading.
This looks good, doesn't it?
Yes. He is very good indeed. Attacking-wise anyway. But obviously, actually defensively, he's quite good too. An 8.23 average rating in those 4 games.
That is high.
With a player of the match. So tactically then, let's see where he slots in because I'm making sure he plays every single game. We are going to a similar but not the same. So if you take a look here, this was our original wide. It's got 2 inverted wingers and everything. If you go to this one, we now have a more attacking fullback, which is going to look to bomb forward because these guys here are inside forwards. They're going to be sitting a lot more narrower to help the advance forward. I felt like the wingers, although Constantine was getting a lot of assists, goals-wise, especially Justin Kluivert's side, and obviously it started to dry up at front, they weren't getting as many.
No.
Weren't getting as many. So now we're providing more of an attacking threat on the wings and through the centre-backs. It's a gamble because it means that we're going basically all out.
Yeah.
And that could cost us in some games, but it could be the difference of winning the ones that we draw and scoring a lot more goals. So I think I'd rather play that way. So let's see how that does because we have played, of course, a few games so far this season and we have won every single game so far, scoring a shitload of goals. And that's what you want, right?
So we beat Sporting in the Super Cup as well then?
We did, indeed, yeah. So that is a total of 24 goals so far just in the league in 4 games. And we've won in the Super Cup as well. So, I mean, a 7-0 against Famalicão, who are actually quite a decent side. Yeah.
We only conceded 1 goal.
Belenenses, I think, finishing European spots, beat them 4-0 away from home. Very good. Only conceding 1 goal as well while doing it. Our Champions League group, though, I think you're going to like this one.
Definitely. We've got to win that group.
Easily got to win that one. Shakhtar Donetsk, Real Sociedad, who can be very good, and Midtjylland.
We had a bit of luck for our last season.
Maybe. Real Sociedad do have a few really good players, but it doesn't look like they've got Alexander Isaac anymore, who's mainly their key man. So this could be a good week. This could be a good season for us. Optimistic of just avoiding somebody decent in that first round knockout stage. That's all we need. Right, okay, let's simulate this final season, the 5th and final
Come on, you
one.
Dragons.
So the final time we win the league, that's 4 in a row.
Yes.
Up to you guys to do the 5th at the very least. Looking at that, we've only lost 2 games. Very good.
Benfica again.
Benfica, one of them, 3-0 away from home. But we drew 6, which means we did beat Benfica as well, which is not bad. We just couldn't beat Braga, where we drew against them twice this season, 1-1 both times. So I'd said, don't I, there was going to be games that we probably won't be able to win playing like this way. But we did actually draw our last 3 games. So, I mean,
we could have won the league by a lot more.
We had the league done and dusted at that point. That's the reason why, obviously, maybe the assistant manager rested a few players. For instance, possibly we had a cup final to play in.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Tell you what, looking at that again as well, look how many goals we did score.
118 and only conceding 29. That is a huge amount of goals. So I imagine we got the top scorer. 33 there for Evanilson. Perfect. Highest average rating, all 3 of our players, including Sergei. 7.75 from centre-back. Can't beat that. And Constantine got the most man of the matches and the most assists with 26.
Brilliant,
12 more assists than anybody else. He's no longer wanted either, which is even better. We tied him down to a contract which goes out for another 3 seasons for anybody who's taken this over. I haven't stitched you up or anything. And he is one of the world's best right wingers right now. So there you go. Enjoy him. For now, though, how have we done with him? We've got 3 other competitions. Let's see. We're the winners of the Europa League.
Kidding.
How did we only go through the Europa League?
I could say, I'm excited because we've won something in Europe, but I'm disappointed because we knocked out of the Champions League.
We were so gobby about finishing top. So confident. Oh, we should walk that. There's no way we don't win that league. And Midtjylland were the team that knocked us out.
I believe that.
7
That
points.
is awful. We must have had a bad
That is the
game.
worst that we have done in the easiest group.
Yeah. Oh well, at least we went
We
through it
won the
once,
Europa
something.
League though, 1-0 against Lazio, so that's not bad. A hard team to face,
Yeah.
especially in Football Manager if they've got Churumobile. It doesn't look like they have anymore, but still. Galano managed to score, or Gaiano I think is how you say it, in the 62nd minute. We didn't actually have Conceição on the pitch, which is, that is tricky.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a very good final.
We won the
Well
cup as
done.
well,
We
so-
won the Taça de Portugal, the Allianz Cup. We were knocked out in the third phase, but we also, of course, won the Super Taça.
We won the treble, really, didn't
We won the treble.
The main
Yeah. The
treble, we
Taça de
won it.
Portugal, I think, is
Yeah.
like the FA Cup, isn't it? So that's very good.
That's a
We
good
won the
treble.
league. That's a very decent treble.
Yeah.
Europa League winners. I do want to see our route to the final though, because that must be quite interesting as well. So if we take a look at this and we cancel everything other than Europa League, let's take a look. Leon over 2 legs, 3-0 and 1-0. Sevilla.
That is a hell of a result.
Yeah, considering they
4-1.
were in the Europa League,
Yeah,
we know how
4-1.
good they can be.
Yeah.
Final, we beat them 6-1 in the first leg
It's
there.
all about winning your own games, mate.
Winning your home games, indeed. And then
Leicester in the
Leicester.
semi-finals. That is another good
We
result.
lost our home game there, but we beat them on penalties.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing. Vinya got himself sent off, so we didn't have him for the final. That's a lot of big players missing for the
Yeah.
final, and yet we still managed to win it 1-0. Very good indeed. We've got to be happy with that. Squad-wise then, 49 goals in 49 games for Evanilson.
Good.
Incredible. He is wanted by every big club in Europe. 20. He's probably really good now as well, to be fair, because he gets better and better. Yeah, look at him. He's world class now. 29 goals and 33 assists for Conceição playing inside forward. Just that little tweak gave him the same amount of assists, but so many more goals.
Yeah.
Amazing, really, what you can do on this game tactically. But our third top scorer is our new centre-back, Sergi. Barcelona's going, hey! He scored more goals than he actually has played games for Barcelona.
Yeah.
How amazing is that in one season? He only played 9 for Barcelona in total, and he scored 18 goals for us just in the league campaign.
But they were good.
Really, really good indeed. Justin Kluivert got 14 and 11 there. Even Peglo's chipping in, and Vitinha chipping in with some assists too from centre mid. Vanderson, 20 assists.
Good.
Really good indeed from right back.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Good signing that.
Right, okay, Dad. 5-year plan. What is the 5-year plan? What is
Well, I
the
think
target?
the first challenge is the obvious one, isn't it? You've got to win
Get
the
that
league.
fifth.
Get the 5th.
In the row.
Even
Yeah.
if you can go on and win the 6th the season after, even better.
Yeah, because you break the record from doing that.
Right, and then obviously the challenge has got to be get to a final of the Champions League.
Yeah.
We've won the Europa League. I was going to say win something in Europe. We've won the Europa League. Get to the final of the Champions League. I'd like you to win it, but just get to the final.
Yeah.
So win the league and get to the final of the Champions League. Giving you a young enough team to do it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You have a team right now who the only first team player who is anywhere near too old is probably Octavio.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's Vitinha, 26, good for another 5 years.
Yeah,
Evanilson,
definitely.
good for another 5 years.
Yeah.
So many of these players you can keep for the full 5 years if you don't improve them, so you should be absolutely fine with that. Even your backups are really good.
Yeah.
And your contracts, like you've only got a couple of contracts which are running out. I made sure I was really good with the contracts, but they're no first team players.
No.
You're all safe and secure with that. It's a very good rebuild to take over, I think, and a good challenge. The transfer budget though is only £20 million.
Yeah.
Whether you decide to sell one of these big players and bring somebody in,
Can't afford to sell your striker.
no, or you do the method that Porto have done for years and years. You find these little gems from Brazil, from Argentina, from Colombia, and you build them into superstars before you sell them on.
Don't forget though, let us know how you get on.
Let us know, please. Let us know, and of course, smash that like button. Let's get to 1,000 likes if we possibly can. That will be absolutely amazing. Really do appreciate it. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. Don't forget to check that out should you wish to sign up and take this on patreon.com/Omega Luke Gaming, and check out the polls as well because they're always going up to see who we rebuild next. And we'll see you next Monday. Bye bye. Now on a Patreon poll was Celtic and Fenerbahce. Braga won.
There you go.
I stuck him in there because people always suggest Braga whenever we do a Portuguese one. But Celtic and Fenerbahce, I thought, they're going to walk this one easy. One of those teams are going to win easy. No, Braga.
I must admit, I thought it had been Celtic.
So the least popular team on there, we're doing Braga today.
Yeah.
In kind of a rebuild. I mean, they have won competitions, but they haven't really done much. 2016, 2021, 1966, they've won the FA Cup. of Portugal.
So they haven't actually won their league, have they?
No, never won the league. So obviously there is a thing in Portugal where there has only been 6 winners outside of wartime.
Yeah.
So during the wartime there was a couple of other winners, but there's only ever been 6 teams who have ever won the Portuguese league.
I think
3 of them have only won once.
I think they come second once.
Yeah.
Shame, really.
Yeah, so we've
Not
got
bad,
obviously Porto, Sporting, Benfica. They've won it multiple times.
Yeah.
Then it's Belenenses, Boa Vista, and there's one more. Or is it we have to be the 6th? There's only 5.
Yeah.
I think that might be the case. Can we do it with Braga? I mean, it's a bit too much to ask for, really, isn't it? Don't you think?
Let's go for it.
God. They are kind of the 4th best team right now in
Yeah.
Portugal. They have great facilities. They also have fantastic youth academy product.
I've
Got a lot of youth
I've got a
academy
little story
players
about their
coming
youth
through.
team, actually. Well, not about the youth team, but the name of the youth team.
Okay, go
I
on.
ain't
then.
telling you yet. I can't tell you yet. I'll tell you
Alright.
later on in the story, but
Wow.
I'm just looking at that
Stay
picture.
tuned.
We're looking at that picture. We've just been talking about this and laughing about it with the stadium.
It is the weirdest stadium,
Yeah.
I think, on planet Earth.
And I'm going to ask people out there, anybody who's been there, can they answer one question for us? What is the wires going across the actual stadium?
Yeah.
We think it's structural
Yes.
to keep the 2 stands up.
Because they
seems
are
a very
at
lean-
such an
yeah.
angle
Yeah.
that it just seems it has to be.
So if
There's
you've been
no
there,
other-
let us know what it is for us, just
Yeah.
so we do know.
And also, like, why is it located where it is?
Yeah.
It is the most, like, weirdest spot. Is it just because that whole place, Braga, as a town or a city, that's what it is
Yeah, I
like?
dunno.
And there's just no other
Yeah.
suitable place? Because there's only 2 stands in your stadium.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
Recent times, I can remember watching Spurs play there and
Europa
Arsenal
League and
have
stuff,
played there.
yeah.
Yeah. And I remember watching the game there, thinking it was quite funny, and the side of the mountain. And I just thought to myself, I would never pay to go there. I would just go up the mountain and stand at the top of the
Yeah.
mountain and watch the game. Bird's eye view, innit?
It is the most bizarre stadium, I think. Definitely in Europe, for sure.
I bet you any money
to
a
look at.
nighttime game. I bet it looks brilliant if you was up the mountain, just
God,
looking
yeah.
down because
Yeah,
the
looking
lights would
down.
be on the ground, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be brilliant.
Well, we've got a fantastic stadium. I mentioned the Youth Academy. Dan's got a story which he'll bring to us soon. Now, this first season, we don't get given any money, so I've brought in no transfers. But we do have a good team. And I think there are some fantastic players, including the Horta brothers. We've got Ricardo there, who's 26. And there's Andre, a little bit further down, who is 24. I presume they're brothers, to be fair. They got the same last name at the same club, so I'd
Don't look
imagine
the same.
they are.
Yeah.
Rui Costa and Pablo Aimar as idols. Rui Costa was my idol too growing up. I loved him. But I think our best player is going to be Vitinha. Fantastic striker. He's 21 years of age. We signed him a few times. The tricky thing is going to be keeping hold of him.
Yeah.
That's going to be the hard thing.
I
So
hope we do, because he's only 21, so that helps the
absolutely.
rest of us, take the league on after us.
For sure. So we do have quite a decent side. But again, it's the 4th best team. And the other 3 are a step above.
Yeah.
So I think just staying in 4th will be great for us in the first year, which is Europa League football as it stands. And Europa League, speaking of which, we have PSV, Legia Warszawa and Bodo Glimt in our group.
Right. I'll be
Not
disappointed
bad.
if we don't qualify.
Yes. Now, in the league, so far, we have won 4 games out of 4 with a goal difference of plus 18, 12 out of 12 points. Okay, I'll show you the tactic before we take a look at the results then, because we are going for a 4-3-3, a very standard 4-3-3, with Vitinha playing up front, 2 inside forwards to help him out. This team is very much suited to this tactic, as well as playing one there as well in like a 4-2-3-1, but I think because of Europe and stuff right now, we'll stick with more defensively solid 4-3-3
Yeah.
and go for it that way. So let's take a look at the schedule then, because a great start to, we beat Sporting after extra time in the Super Cup.
Get in.
Yes, good start. So Ricardo Horta got 2, Mario Gonzalez got 1. It was 1-1 after 90 minutes. We won 3-2 after extra time.
Man, look at how many goals we were scoring after that, look.
And only conceded 1 against Portimonense in a 6-1 victory. 4-0 against Maritimo, 4-0 against
game's the
Tenella.
hard game, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. We haven't
Yeah.
played anybody hard yet, have we?
No.
But so far, so good.
Yeah,
Right.
you take that start, wouldn't you?
Now, as a whole 5 years, what is your expectation of Braga?
Well, you're looking at the top teams that you want to get in amongst them, really, didn't you? So I'd love to win the league.
Yeah.
But I reckon we've got to try and equal what they've done before. So let's try and equal second.
Okay.
and win a cup.
That's realistic. I think that's definitely realistic. And just put a good account of ourselves in Europe. I'd like that.
I think one of the top teams will always be better than us.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because they've probably got money because of their popularity. Like, there's hardly any money in this. And we've got a bit of debt as well. £22 million debt. Net debt of 14. Yeah, it's not good right now.
You're sure that if someone comes in to buy your best player, you're going to sell him?
Yeah, 100%. Right, okay then. Let's simulate the first season. First season then, 4th place as we expected. So no surprises
It's
just
pretty
yet.
really because we were such a good start. I was hoping we were going to be in amongst them, instead of behind them. So
we really dropped off at the end there as well. Only 1 win in our last 5 games, 70 points.
That cost us then, didn't it?
Yeah. Sporting win the league, so that's back-to-back for Sporting.
Yeah.
Very good for them. Benfica in 2nd, Porto in 3rd. Quite unexpected, really, seeing Porto down in 3rd.
Yeah.
Because they obviously have won the most in the league. Top goal scorer, though, Vitinha, 24 this season. Very good from him.
Yeah.
Very, very good indeed. Right, so, other competitions then. We've got the Portuguese FA Cup style. There's another competition as well as Europa League. Oh, runners-up of the Portuguese Taça de Portugal placard. We are the semi-finalists in the Allianz Cup as well. Quarter-finalists, knocked out by Monaco in Europa.
It's not even a hard game. I want to put Monaco, really.
What, Monaco?
I'm disappointed.
They got money.
I know that, but you're disappointed when you come against a team like that and lose against them, and you really...
Yeah, I mean, Taça de Portugal, let's take a look.
Who did we lose against?
Benfica, extra time.
Extra time.
Who have signed Aubameyang.
I just seen today that Chelsea might even be thinking about signing him.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
There's some weird and wacky transfers
There
going
is,
around
isn't it,
right
at the
now.
moment, yeah.
I mean, we do a video like 2 weeks before it comes out, and by the time that the video comes out, unless we're talking about a Man United transfer, because it never happens, there are like, we'll talk about somebody, and then somebody write in the comments, oh, he's already gone so-and-so now.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, you obviously we're recording this many
2
days
weeks,
before. People just expect us to record this the day of.
Yeah, no, we will record it 2 weeks before.
2 weeks before, so always take that into consideration when you're leaving your comments. But still leave a comment. I really like the comments.
Do you know what I'm going to predict now is the season hasn't started, but the time this comes out, Spurs are top of the league.
Oh, get out. Come on, right, okay. Let's talk about something more realistic and Vitinha's goals. He scored 38 this season. That's not bad at all. Ricardo Horta got 19. Muderos got 14 goals and 19 assists from that right-hand side. He looks like quite a good player as well. But they do have another youngster, I think, in this part here. We can see Rodrigo Gomez, 18-year-old. Excited to see what he can bring. Now, we have also just had, of course, the youth intake, which happens every year. And we've got some really promising players, including this guy, Fabio Pascal, who looks amazing for a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he also plays on that right-hand side alongside Rodrigo Gomez. So, yeah.
He wouldn't have played this season, anyway, would he?
No, of course, he's only just come through. He's only
yeah.
15, so he's made 16 appearances for like the B team or the under-19s. But there has been we need to obviously take note on these things. There's been a few times where a player has come through and done a good enough development that we can actually play him in the first team. That might be one of these occasions. Right, okay, let's go forward to the second season. Before we do, though, you mentioned the season already starting. Whether Spurs will be top of the league, I don't think will be realistic, but I do think realistic is that I'll be top of our fantasy league on Spitch.
No.
Yes! I mean, we've already got 50 people in there right now as of recording. The season's about to start the day after this against Arsenal. But if you haven't joined yet, it's still not too late to join. The best thing about Spitch is that it's done on a week-by-week basis. You can take us on a weekly basis. If you miss a week, it doesn't really matter. Of course, you do get rewarded more if you do play every single week, because you can see throughout the season. For instance, I dropped off at the end of last season because I accidentally missed a week with it, and that was it then. For me, you guys were already far ahead. I couldn't catch up.
You weren't going to catch me anyway.
No, well... maybe not. But I think actually the best thing about Spitch, and we spoke about this recently, is the transfer system. There's the point system's great as well. You get points for passes, tackles, blocks and everything, which you don't get in, like, say, the FPL, Fantasy Premier League. But the transfer system, there's no restrictions to that. And I used to hate it on the Sky Fantasy League because you only get like 40, and then I'd already use them up by Christmas, and then I get bored of it. Best bit about Spitch, brand new 11 every single week.
Yeah, brilliant.
Can't complain with that.
See what games are being played, and you just pick the games where you think what teams will be playing better, and you just pick all their players.
Absolutely.
Works every time.
Absolutely. So, we have 2 links at the top of the description. One is to sign up for Spitch, which is the first one. Have to have your identification ready because you do have to be 18 years of age or over. Unfortunately, right now, it's only available in the UK, Austria, or Germany too. But please, if you do join, the second link underneath joins the community league. That's where you want to be, because there's 50 of us in there right now. There's probably going to be more by the time this video comes
Just go
out.
into the community league and then look for Omega Luke's league then. And then click under that and you're in.
But there is other options too, like season mode, which is a brand new mode that Spitch have brought in this summer. Now, season mode is a little bit different because if you do enter every single week, your top 5 lineups get put in together and you could win some massive money. If you're a bit of a gambler yourself, or you have like a spare £5, you put £5 into it. This is the reason why you need your identification. You could be put in for a prize pool of up to £50,000, which is amazing money. I mean, I wouldn't mind 50 grand. So.
I wouldn't. So money, yeah.
Absolutely. But there is a free option as well on season mode. If you do that, there's a lot smaller prize pool, but it is available free to play as well. And that's obviously the benefits of Spitch. You can pay to play, but it is free to play should you wish. There's so many of you have already done so let's try and get some more of you in there too. Thank you very much to everybody who has joined, because just by joining Spitch, even doing it for free, you're actually helping support me as a content creator, because Spitch keep wanting to sponsor videos because you guys are joining and getting involved, and that's what we like to see. We're having fun with it.
Definitely are.
So thank you very much. Top of the description, first link to join, second link for the Community League.
Take us on.
Second season, let's go. Now, we weren't given much money at all, but we did sell a player to Sporting, Paulo Oliveira, £4.5 million there. He played 30 games for us last season. We only just got him as well.
Yeah.
He originally played for
7 goals as well.
Yeah, from centre-back. So, we had about £5.25 million. We brought in a centre-back, Andrea Papetti. This guy's better. Yeah. I actually think this guy's better. And he has a better potential on the game as well.
He's Italian. You know what I say about Italian defenders.
Exactly. Yeah. 20 years of age. Very good player on this game from Brescia. £5.25 million. 2 assists from centre-back. He can ping a ball, maybe. Yeah. So that's decent. And we've also signed 2 free transfers. Now, this one, I think, is a very good striker. And he could be a good backup striker. Or if we end up losing Vitinha, he can fill in that gap. He's 26 years of age. I think he's the first player we have ever signed from Qatar in a rebuild.
Definitely.
Has to be. Yeah. 75 caps, 35 goals for them too. We probably see him in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Now, free transfer from Ali Duhal in Qatar. He got 9 goals in 26 games last season. Again, just a free transfer, that will do. Now, this player, I remember watching a video on this player when he was 18 years of age, and they were talking about him signing for Manchester City because he's really skillful. Now, he never amounted to anything in real life, but Football Manager always like him. They always give him really good technicals and mentals. They did
sign a player who looked like him, didn't they, with the dragged in like
Yeah. So, Omar Abdularam, I remember him really well. You guys might do as well, because I remember it when he played for Al Ain, and I remember everybody talking about it because he was going to be like the UAE's best player. And he might actually have been the best player from 88 caps, 12 goals here. But we signed him on a free transfer. He's very skillful, can play across the midfield. I like his player traits, that flair, passing ability, technique, his vision of 18.
That's good.
He's got some really good attributes. It's just maybe the physicals that are letting him down a little bit. Whatever happened to him in real life, don't know. So those are the signings that we have made. Unfortunately, we didn't make anything else. We didn't get given any money at all. If you take a look here, we've only got £1 million left almost with a little bit of wage budget. But we have been rejecting offers too, like Porto coming in for some of our best players. We've just been rejecting them. Tactically, we go with the same thing. Just try and build on what we had, to be honest. I couldn't really see us changing much unless we went with that 4-2-3-1.
I guess we would have been better if the end of the season was a bit better. So
absolutely,
you didn't know where we'd have finished then, do you?
Yeah, and I think it was. I mean, we started the season really well. Had some great results. How are we done this season? Well, I'd say that's really good.
Yeah.
The only drop points that we had was a 2-0 loss to Benfica. But some good wins there. Aruca, I think we played last season at the start. Vizela 2-0, big 6-0 win there. Europa League, Monaco again. Ooh. That's who knocked us out last season.
We're going to get revenge. Oh,
Galatasaray.
Welcome to hell.
Yes. And Ferencváros as well from Hungary. Will we see us drop down into the Conference.
Yeah, I don't know this one. It's a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, the final's been played at Puskás as well, which is obviously in Hungary. Ferencváros, there where they want to get themselves
Yeah,
there.
definitely, yeah.
Okay, right, let's simulate this second season. And the second season, it's 4th place for us again. It's a massive step between us. We do have quality players, but there's a massive step and there's no money. So right now, trying to chase them.
Yeah, because the games that we drew are the same.
Yeah.
It's just the games we lost. I mean, it's only 2 more games, but it's 6 points, isn't it, you know?
Absolutely. We did have a good goal difference, though. 48. It's higher than Benfica, but nowhere near Porto, who come back and only lost 1 game this season. Was it against us? I'd love it if it was. No, Benfica, they're rivals. Their rivals stopped them from having a perfect season there. Okay, that's fair enough.
All right,
what about statistics? Have we... No. Aubameyang's top scorer, Tony Martinez, 25. We got 24 there with Vitinha. Cup competitions. Like you mentioned, have we won any? No. Semi-final of the Allianz Cup. 5th round of the Taça de Portugal. 1st round knockout by bloody Arsenal.
Now Arsenal's been mentioned, I'm going to tell you a little story now.
Okay.
We were formed in 1921, I think it was.
Yeah.
We played in green and white.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a shock. They didn't play in the same colour as what they are in now.
In 1947, they changed. And why did they change? Because the president at the time had dealings with business in London. So he used to travel to London quite a lot. So while he was there, he used to take a game in and he used to go and watch Arsenal. And he used to support Arsenal. So what did he do when he came back? He just said to the rest of the presidents that was there, I want to change our kit to red and white. So they did. In 1947-48 season, they were in Division 2 and they won the league.
Right.
First season they wore the kit. So what did they do? They changed their name of the youth side to Arsenal de Braga.
Really?
That's right. And that's what I was going to say with the youth team. They're actually called Arsenal.
That is fully commitment, isn't it? I bet you hate them now, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, the kit is identical, isn't it?
Yeah,
to
it's
Arsenal
the Arsenal
kits.
kit. Yeah.
Even their away kits is the yellow.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the little story I was going to tell you.
Well, speaking of the youth academy, we've got a couple of lads in there who are looking quite tasty. Getting better and better. Fabio now at a 2.5 star. Looks really, really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got to keep our eyes on him. There's the other player that I was looking for earlier, Miguel Fale. Did a video on him a couple of years ago because he was very good on Football Manager. I don't think he's as good now, but he is still decent. So maybe we keep an eye on Miguel Fale in the future too. Okay, so yeah, we didn't get through any cups. We've got far at all. At least we qualified for the Europa League, which I guess is one thing. But what about performances? Who scored the goals? Vitinha got 31. Omar Abdelrahman got 16.
31 in that league's good, really.
Yeah.
There was the highest goal scorer, and he was in the 20s last season.
Yeah, he is unhappy though.
Oh,
Wants to move to a bigger club, and Porto are after him.
There you go.
Unfortunately, this will be his last year as well. So unless we want to use him for one more season, lose him on a free.
I mean, he's a Portuguese lad. He's going to want to play one of the big sides, and you can't hold him back, really, can you?
No, I mean, he come through the youth academy. I think if you take a look, like he doesn't have like a supporter thing. Usually, he's born here. He's born in Braga, so you'd think he'd have some kind of loyalty.
Yeah, but he's played how many seasons for us, hasn't he, really? He's not a league and goal scorer. He just wants that next step on, doesn't he?
Wants to step up.
And if he wants to stay in Portugal, that's where he wants to go, isn't it?
Very, very true. He's got ambitions elsewhere. Well, okay, I mean, signing of Andrea Papetti, I think, was really good. We can see here, he picked up 6 goals, 2 assists, a very good average rating. Might even be the highest this season. It was the highest this season. So really good showing from Andrea Papetti, bringing him in. So that was fantastic work. Good business there. There's his centre-back partner there, Tormenia. 8 goals from him, 3 assists. So our centre-backs are actually really good. They're performing really well. Okay, we'll go forward another season. Let's go forward to the 3rd season. Well, it didn't last long. Vitinha moved to Porto. He did have a release clause in his contract of 17 million. They wouldn't go any higher than 15.75, which is close enough, isn't it? He's already got 3 and 3 from as well.
There you go.
It's made us worse.
Yeah.
So it's going to be even harder. So, what have we done in regards to replacing him? Well, this is where a problem comes in. We've actually made £30 million because we've also sold Andrea Papetti to Atalanta. £14.5 million. a release clause. So,
I mean, it's good profit, but he obviously didn't settle here, did he? He wanted to go back to Italy, didn't he? So.
Yeah,
well.
there was our troubles.
Yeah.
We had a lot of problems there. So after just signing him, we lost him. But £2 million. Why is that? If you go to finances, we have 0% of our transfer revenue is made available for us. They're giving us nothing. So we lost one player to the release clause. We lost another player to almost a release clause because he just wanted to leave.
I reckon,
nothing.
They're saving money up to dig into the mountain to put it on a stand-up.
God, must be. Must be. So this is one of the hardest transfer windows I've ever had to do. I only managed to bring in 2 players. Let's take a look at them. Daniel Cunyones, a right back who can play wing back. He can also play left back. We don't really need a right back. We got Zay Carlos, who's quite good, but I think for backup wise,
yeah, you got to back up.
You got to have good backups, and he comes in. Now, the other problem that we had, which this guy was our goalkeeper, left on a free. He wouldn't sign another new deal to Fenerbahce, the other team which was suggested. So we lost our goalkeeper, our best centre-back, and our striker in one window, and we did not replace any of them because all we managed to sign was Kanya Fujimoto, who is a midfielder. So
it's not looking good then, is it?
It is not looking good at all. Tactically, what are we doing tactically? So we've got Lopez, who is 16 years of age, but he has fantastic potential according to our coaches and our staff, and he's even better than our backup goalkeeper.
The young lad, don't it?
So it's just chucking him in. He's on 55 quid a week. And we're paying him.
I'll tell you what, mate. Every time he keeps a clean sheet, I'll chuck a tenner in for that week.
I mean, he's only conceded 3 in 4 games so far and kept 1 clean sheet. That's not bad.
I owe him a tenner already.
Yeah, exactly. We are also playing Fabio Pascal.
Another
16-year-old as many times as possible. And we are using the backup striker, which we got for free last season, Qatari.
Are we changing our name this season to Arsenal then?
Oh,
this is our youth team playing now,
basically, our youth team. We are going to the 4-2-3-1. I thought, why just go for it now?
Yeah.
Like, either we get sacked or we end it. I don't really know.
Talking of being sacked, in the 2019-2020 season, we had 4 managers that season.
Bloody hell, Watford?
Yeah, and what I didn't understand about it, I tried reading into it, but I just couldn't find out why these managers are getting sacked. The second manager actually won the cup. If you look on 2019, we actually won one of the cups.
Yeah, the Tac de Portugal, yeah.
So he actually won a cup, and I don't know whether he got sacked or just moved on to another club or what. I don't know.
Maybe it was an interim.
Yeah, I mean, but that season they had 4 managers.
Bloody hell. I mean, yeah, you can see here, 2016. It was Allianz Cup then, maybe?
I'm not sure now.
2020 is when we won the Allianz Cup. Yeah, so 2019-20.
Yeah.
But that is mental. That is Watford, isn't it? It's probably the first one was sacked. Then the replacement came in after a caretaker manager played a certain amount of games. Then he was sacked at the end, and we had another replacement at the end.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, well, maybe we'll get sacked. I don't really know. Let's take a look at our schedule, because currently we're winning the league, Dad.
Ooh, get in.
We haven't played anybody that's difficult right now. We seem to play them mid-season and give ourselves a bit of false hope.
Yeah, we've got one more game, then we've got Benfica.
Benfica, yeah.
There we go then.
So we've managed to do quite well. 3-2 wins in a row and a 4-0 victory at the start of the season. Let's take a look at Europa League group.
That's not looking easy neither, is it?
No. Milan, of course, they look like they're going to walk this league. But then FC Midtjylland are a very tricky team to come up against.
Definitely.
I like the Danish teams who, when they play in Europe, they're always very solid and very disciplined. Midtjylland have got quite a nice link with Brentford, of course. That's I think that's more and more clubs are looking into doing that, aren't they? And that's that's another thing that we need to be careful of right now. Whether they are going to knock us out and put us into the conference. Okay, let's see how this does. 2 16-year-olds in our lineup. One of them being the goalkeeper.
I think the worst thing is the goalkeeper. Yeah, I'm really.
Let's see how this third season does. Right, we've dropped down to 6th.
There you go.
We've dropped 2 places down into 6th place.
56 points. That's not very good, is it?
No, it's not at all. However, Dad, what can you see on this page here?
We've won something.
We've won something.
Okay.
We have qualified for the Europa League despite finishing in 6th place, which must be really annoying for the 2 teams above. What is it that we've won? We have won the Taca de Portugal placard.
Get in.
We have won basically the FA
Porto,
Cup.
get in.
We beat Porto in the final, something that we won recently as well. Amazing. Unbelievable
Brilliant.
stuff. We got to the quarterfinals of the Conference League, knocked out by Napoli. Not bad.
No, you take it. I mean, Napoli,
Yeah.
good side. Well, they can be a good
Yeah,
side.
yeah, absolutely. So we actually beat champions Porto in the final there, who finished on 86 points, 30 points above us. Good season.
Hey,
Even though we
all
finished
on
in
the day,
sixth.
innit? All on the day.
Good season.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. We'll take
Okay,
that.
squad-wise then, who is scoring the goals, if anybody? Ali did get 26. Ricardo Horta got 22.
That's the first time we've had two players in the 20s.
Absolutely. Fujimoto's playing quite a lot of games and he got 11 assists. Our youngster, our first 16-year-old here, he's developed lovely. Even though he got quite a low average rating, he got 17 assists, which was the most this season. So that is very, very good.
Yeah.
Our goalkeeper didn't get that good of a rating. He got 6.86 average rating, and it doesn't look like he has developed quite nicely, just not as much as what I was hoping. And he conceded 42 goals and only got 4 clean sheets this season.
Oh, and it cost me 40 quid then, didn't it?
Yeah. It was so difficult, though. I mean, we've only been given 6 million next season. And we've now been given 20% of any transfers that we sell. So there we go.
There we go. Yeah. Well, we won something, didn't we?
Yeah, so that's nice, I guess. There's £20 million in the bank now. So I guess we'll go on to the next season and see what I've managed to do with all the pennies that they give us this season. Okay, so there was no real big outs, just a few £1,000 dotted around here and there. There was 2 free transfers that we brought in and 1 major signing, and we'll take a look at that first. It's Alan Velasco from the MLS. Very good player on this game, Argentinian. We've actually used him previously in a rebuild where we did the South American team, Independiente. He was the star man there, and he has moved to FC Dallas, and now we have bought him from there. So, good player, £7 million. I think that's all right. He scored 13 goals last season in 16 games.
That's good. Yeah,
Very good.
yeah.
We have played him so far, and he's done nothing
already,
for us. Yeah, so that's a little bit worrying. Maybe we're not playing him up front.
It's a little bit of a harder league, isn't it?
Yeah. Julian Pollersbeck, there was a goalkeeper. We needed one. We've brought in another goalkeeper.
Good experience.
Yeah, absolutely. 30 years of age.
Still going to learn of him, so.
Absolutely, yeah. German goalkeeper, they're always good.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
And we have signed a free transfer from Benfica in Gabriel, who's going to be a good midfield option for us. There are a couple of weaknesses, concentration, decision making. I'd like to have them a lot higher in midfield, but we've got to work with what we can get.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's very good at being on the ball and his tackling, but with low decision making and high tackling, there's going to be a lot of yellow cards.
His first touch and his passing is good, but his concentrating is low.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
No.
Because you've got to be concentrating to get your first touch under one and then get the ball away quickly. So
Yeah. He's going to be one of these players who's going to pick up a lot of yellow cards because he's very aggressive and he loves to tackle, but he's got terrible decisions. I'm going to fly into this one.
Yeah, here we go.
But anyway, we signed him on a free transfer. You didn't play any games for the last couple of years, so we'll bring him in, see what he can do for us. Tactically then, let's take a look. We are sticking with what we have, and I'm making the executive decision to keep Mario Lopez in goal.
You just bought an experienced goalkeeper.
I brought in a goalkeeper,
and then you keep him out of the team.
Yes. I think this guy isn't too bad. He just needs game time. Yes, he's 17. But game time is the most important thing on Football Manager.
At least 5 years before he'd be properly developed.
We'll see. We still got Ali playing up top, and we still got Pascal on the right-hand side, who's 17, and looking really, really good now. Easily our best player on that right-hand side, and he's so young. Value is very high, but there's no way I'm going to sell him because you won't see any of that money brought back into the club. Okay, let's take a look at the schedule then. We have won every single game so far, even being Porto. Yeah. We beat them in the cup already last season, didn't we? So this is a nice result. Beating them in the Super Tucker, the Super Cup, 4-3. And quite easily as well. We are 4-2 up at one point. So very nice result there. Then we beat Benfica.
That's a hell of a start. First 2 games of the season, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. We beat Benfica in the first league game of the season. Massive from us. Maritimo, and we kept a clean sheet with Mario Lopez getting a 7.7 in that game. Yeah, eat your words, father. 3-2 against Maritimo, then we beat Casapia in the cup there. It always amazes me when you see like a lower club. 967 people went to that game compared to like 23,000, 20,000.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. 1-0 against this team here. Another clean sheet for Mario Lopez, and a 2-1 victory there in what can only be described as mud.
Yeah.
That is an awful pitch. I hope they've upgraded that. Okay. I do like
Europa League looks...
Europa League is promising. Yeah. Partizan, Mainz, Lask. Actually, there's no like whipping boy in there because Lask can be quite tricky.
I'll be disappointed if we don't qualify for that, you know?
Yeah, Partizan always have a decent team.
They got to the final in 2011.
I remember that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that can happen to you as a team and you get into a final about the team that you're going to play against? What's the worst thing it can be?
It can be one of the best teams in Europe.
What about one of the best teams in your league?
Oh, they face...
They faced Benfica in the semi-final and beat them.
Yeah.
And then drew Porto in the final and lost
so
1-0 to Porto.
That's so annoying.
To get there, you know what I mean? Especially since you got Benfica in the semi-final and you beat them, you think, yes.
Yeah.
And then Porto get beat win their semi-final as well, and you think, oh, why can't we just play another foreign side? Yeah. But yeah.
Or even just someone
It's good for Portugal because obviously they have 3 teams
so coefficients
out of the last 4.
and stuff like that.
So that's good, really. But yeah, so 2011 we got to the final, so we've got a chance of getting through to the knockout stage at least here.
Yeah, for sure. Current holders are Leicester of this competition right now. So the winners recently have been Leicester, Villarreal, and Benfica, who won it the first year that we simulated. So there we go. Right, okay, let's simulate this season, the 4th season, and see how we get on. 4th season, we're in to the Champions League spots.
Get in.
3rd place, 1 point above Benfica. That win at the start was crucial.
Definitely.
We are
Goal
still
differences are better as well. Look.
Yeah, we are still 17 points behind Sporting at the top. But I'll take it. We go into the qualifying rounds of the Champions League. We still got to beat people to get there.
I know.
But we're in it. That's the main thing. So that's promising. We had a very good end of the season as well. 4 wins out of the final 5. No losses whatsoever. Very good stuff.
Good season then.
Yeah. Did we have any? We didn't have anybody. Anybody in the player statistics anywhere.
That's the first time as well. So, yeah.
Okay, competitions then. First round knockout by Royal Antwerp. That's so
we got into the knockout, then he got knocked out by them.
Yeah. And even the 5th round by this club, Coimbra, who I think are in on... No. They're in the league below. They're in the league below and they knocked us out the Taca de Portugal. Great result in the league. Yeah. Terrible in the cups. Maybe that's the inexperience.
Yeah.
The league form, we managed to do all right there. Okay, let's take a look then at the performances. 25 goals from Horta and Ali. That's very good.
Yeah, definitely.
Considering Horta's a left-sided player with 16 assists as well. Our right-sided player managed to get 12 goals with 7 assists. Let's take a look at him now that he's 18 years of age. He's old enough to buy a pint. Yeah, he's quite good. Very, very good indeed. So look, wants a new deal. That's good. He doesn't want to leave. He just wants a new deal. We can give you a new deal. That's fine. He is still only on 1.4k a week. And he's one of our best players. Where's our goalkeeper? So Mario Lopez actually put in a solid performance, a 7.08. 13 clean sheets this season with 2 player of the matches.
Yeah, that's good then, yeah.
And he's developed quite nicely too. So yeah, I think I made a right decision there, bringing him in instead of Polos back into the team. Yeah?
I'm not saying nothing.
I
would have still gone with the other keeper.
All right, well, that's fair enough. Okay, then, let's go forward to the 5th season. Let's see how much money they've given us. Okay, right, Champions League with 4.42 million. We'll see what we can do. Good Lord.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Europa League it is, isn't it?
I don't think we can even make that.
No.
Right, okay. Let's go forward to the 5th season. Now, our transfer revenue's gone up to 48%. So if we did sell a player, we'd only get 48% of it back. But
it's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing, I guess. Let's take a look at some of the transfers then, because there has been some happenings. None on the outs, and we have 1 on the ins, Dad. It's a former player who actually left us in real life this summer, I think. David Carmo. He's gone to Porto, I believe, in real life. We signed him back for £3.4 million because they never really played him. We never really replaced Andrea Papetti.
No.
So this was the signing replacing Andrea Papetti. Pretty much the signing that Papetti come in for, really, if you consider the fact that David Carmo left pre-season, the season that we began. But he's 6'5". He's great on the ball. I think he's fantastic to bring him back. He's still only 26. He can come back. The club that he come through, the youth academy, he's tried it at the big time.
Yeah.
He's won a couple of titles. Now he stays with us and seeing what we can do at his hometown club. David Carmo.
You can see we're a team on the way up.
Exactly, yeah. So tactically then, I think we stick with what we had. We're still going with Lopez in goal. Mario, I've got full faith in you. Dad might not have, but I have. I think he just has attributes where I like them, like agility of 13. He's got good decision making, decent concentration, his position is good, reflexes are fantastic, and his eccentricity is really low. And I like that in a player, in a goalkeeper especially. And considering he is 6'4", with good aerial reach and command of area. For a young goalkeeper, that's really high.
It's not bad, yeah.
No,
I'll give you that.
Yeah, so that's what I look into. I don't just look at reflexes and handling.
Change your mind up, but I'll give you
that. And so far, he's kept 1 clean sheet in 3 games, only conceded 2 goals. Not bad.
No.
Okay, so let's take a look at those games then. We started off with our Champions League 2-0 win against AZ Alkmaar, 2-1 in the home leg.
Get in. Got to win your home games.
You have indeed. Estoril Praia, a 5-1 victory. 1-0 in the first leg against Dinamo Kiev at home, but we went away and we defeated them 5-3, meaning that we have qualified for the Champions League.
And look who we got.
Yeah. Shamrock Rovers, though.
So we should stay at
Europa League. Yeah.
We're not going to.
But we get the money of Champions League.
Yeah, it's good.
So that's good. Real Madrid and Dortmund. Although I do think you end up getting more money if you won all the games in Europa League than what you would if you lost and won 2.
But it's nice
in
to be in the Champions League.
But it's just nice for reputation purposes.
I mean, you can't beat the Wednesday night Champions League games.
No, Tuesday and Wednesday nights, lovely stuff. When you hear that anthem playing in your stadium, I mean, it would just disappear, wouldn't it? In that stadium, it wouldn't echo around it. The champions. It would just go, wouldn't it? You'd be like, oh, I can't even hear it. Never mind. But there we go. So a fantastic start to the season because even in the league, 5-1 there and a 4-0 victory. So even the 2 games that we conceded goals in, we won 5-1.
Yeah.
So we're starting strong again. We've got some difficult games in these couple of months here, especially down in November. Our November is Real Madrid, Dortmund, Benfica, and Porto, and Sporting. I bet we can't wait for that game.
That is a bad month.
That is such a horrendous month for Braga.
We'll probably come away with one win that night. Oh,
we'll take a look. We'll take a look at November 2025 and see how that does. Right, okay. 5th and final season, Dad. Expectations?
Top 4.
Top 4? Well, top 3 is Champions League, remember?
Yeah, well, I'd like to come second to equal the best result that they've ever done. So to win the league would be brilliant, but I just can't see it.
No, right, okay. Ever so optimistic. Let's see how we do and simulate.
If we had a better keeper, we might do it.
Yeah. Eat your words, Dad!
You are joking!
Eat your words!
Well,
82 points. Joint points with Porto. Lower goal difference, but I think head-to-head must have played a part in here. Yes, we beat them at away as well. We beat them in Porto. Unbelievable. I never thought we'd win with Braga.
No.
Never thought we'd win with Braga. I would have been well chuffed if we just got Champions League again, but we've done it.
Well, I'll take my hat off to you, son.
And he only conceded 28 goals, did that lovely little bugger in goal. Mario Lopez, what a legend. Absolutely amazing stuff. Did we score it? No statistics. Assists. Pascual got 13. Fujimoto got 12.
But
David Carno actually was in there
2 seasons
too.
we have already had anybody in there has been our 2 best seasons.
Yes, mental.
Third
Team performances, maybe.
That's what it's about, isn't it?
Okay, what about our Champions League campaign then? I don't even care. We could get knocked out in the group stage. I won't even care. 3rd place, and we were knocked down the first round by Bayer Leverkusen.
The same.
Tricky team to come up against. Sporting knocked us out in the 4th round, attacking to Portugal. We didn't come anywhere close to the Allianz Cup once, have we? Knocked down the 3rd stage there. But we won 1 game in that against Shamrock Rovers. We finished on the same points as them. We actually lost to Shamrock.
We shouldn't have lost to them.
At home as well.
Oh, God.
We lost our home game to Shamrock Rovers.
If you don't win at home in Europe, you don't get anywhere.
Well, we still went to the Europa League. We just didn't get any further than that. We mentioned the November. Let's take a look at November. We did win that 1 game, but we also drew to Benfica and we drew to Sporting. And we lost to Sporting in the tackle of Portugal there.
Thinking of it though, when you come up and find out that you won the league and then say, now go to November what you're expecting, you're going to expect it to be better than what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a little bit better, isn't it?
A little bit better. 2 draws where we probably wouldn't expect it with Benfica and Sporting. Obviously that win that we did expect and knocked out the cup, unfortunately, by Sporting.
Yeah.
But yeah, still a very good result. I want to see our Europa League matches against Leverkusen. Oh no. We won 3-0 in the first leg, and we lost 5-0 in the second leg when we travelled to them. When we travelled to Leverkusen.
They must have thought they were through.
Yeah. Do you know what I find amazing by this? We look at their stadium. We've mentioned before their stadium's really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although they've only got 3 stands, we've only got 2.
Yeah.
We had a higher attendance. 26,000 against their 23,000 attendance. What is going on?
I'm going to bring someone else up as well there. Talking that we're 3-0 up at sort of half time, really. Isn't it?
Yeah.
We spoke about a team in our last rebuild that we said are good in Europe, Rangers.
Yes.
They just played one of their qualifying rounds for the Champions League, haven't they?
Yeah, they
and
did.
They're 2-0 down already.
Yeah.
So they've got to change it when they can play at home.
Absolutely. Whether they have done, it probably would have happened by now, wouldn't it? By the time this video
Yeah, it
comes
will
out.
do, yeah. So it'd be interesting to see if they pulled that back or not. But it was a big shock. I couldn't believe it when I seen it.
No, absolutely.
And I think when I seen the highlights, the second goal was a penalty, and I don't think it was a penalty neither.
Oh, I hate that. I would hate that. I mean, this is annoying.
I think the
enough as it is,
referee
isn't it?
went to the VAR thing, and I think he stood there for about 5 minutes trying to make sure it was a penalty.
Yeah.
It was one of those where he just kicked the ball at him, and his arm was about sort of there. It just hit him. He didn't stand a chance, really.
No.
But he
Couldn't
stood
get
there
away.
for 5 minutes trying to make his mind up, and then decided it was a penalty. Never a penalty.
Never. Well, good luck,
I hope
Rangers.
they do pull it back.
Yeah, absolutely. But there we go. That is our rebuild done with Braga, Dad. Is that more than what you expected?
Oh, 100%.
We become the 6th team ever to win the Portuguese Championship.
I don't think anybody would have thought that we would win the league.
No, absolutely.
That's the start.
It hasn't come up there, but you can see there are only 6 ever, or 5 ever teams to have done it. Boa Vista all the way there, and you can scroll all the way down, and Belenenses is there in 1945-46. Outside of the wartime, that's the only ones. Well, actually, they played in the wartime. Maybe it was a different time. I don't know. Portuguese people let me know down in the comments section. But we are the 6th team ever to win the Portuguese League. Gotta be happy. Let's take a look at the statistics, just see. So, not bad at all. Patreon members, of course, on the £5 tier, you can take this over. Dad will give you a bit of a thing in a minute to try your task for the next 5 years, but you've got this guy, he's still there, and he's signed on for another 4 seasons, if you wish. However, there is a £45 million release clause to foreign clubs only.
Yeah.
No Porto.
Yeah.
That's not bad. And Mario Lopez is also in there for another 3 years, because I like him, Dad might not, but he is in there for 35 million or 31 million pound, and you get still only 48. And your transfer budget next season, despite winning the league, is £2 million. Dad, 5 years. What do you want to happen?
I'm going to do a bit of a different one here. I've never used a player as a challenge as well. So
Okay.
one of my challenges is you've got to keep that goalkeeper in goal.
All right, yeah.
Because you've done it and we won the league and I went
Yeah.
against you, you've got to keep that goalkeeper in goal.
Mario
That's part of
Lopez.
the challenge, all right? So the 5 seasons, he stays in goal. The second part of the challenge is to stay in the top 4.
Yeah.
And try and win. I would say Europa League would probably be the best thing you can win.
Yeah.
Because we got to the final and we lost against Porto. Try and win the Europa League.
Yeah.
So if you stay in the top 4, you're going to be in one of the European competitions. So that's the challenge. You've got to keep the goalkeeper and try and win one of the a Europa Cup.
Yeah. I've also got a challenge for the fans.
Yeah?
Fans of Braga. Can you buy Dad a Mario Lopez goalkeeper shirt? Can you imagine that?
If that arrives, if someone buys it for me and it arrives here, I will wear it.
He's a large. He's a size large. Mario Lopez. Let's take a look at his name one last time.
I'll tell you something we have forgotten as well.
What's that?
What's the food like at the stadium?
What's it? Yes. What's the food like at the
Some
stadium?
people have been telling us what the food's like at their stadiums. Someone tell us what the food's like at the Braga
Do
stadium.
you only get half the food because there's only half a stadium? We want to know whether it's fantastic stuff or not. Let us know.
Yeah.
And also, if you got a ticket to be in one stand and you get to that stand and you think, oh crap, I'm on the other side. How do you get there? How do you get to the other side? I want to know. Is it a big trouble?
Someone supplied
Let
you
us
with a pair
know
of
down in the
mountain boots.
comments.
Off you go.
Yeah. So Braga fans, it's down to you. Let us know in the comment section. Thank you to everybody who's been signed up to Patreon and taken the challenges on. And of course, we'll see you next week with another one. Bye-bye.